They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate. Elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies, all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting all black like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go all out in Vegas. Living the life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far to myself, yeah. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. Yeah, I had to boss. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating. I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believe.
Man, listen. Salute to everybody in the building. 5-6 people in the building. Couple people in the building. Shout out to Ross Clot in the building. Salute King. Ron Frazier in the building. RC. J Cash, the money man in the building. We are on a little bit late this evening. Listen, guys, we almost missed it because it was one of those days, you heard? It was one of those days. I was working all day. The day ended up dragging out on me, man. Pulled through the door. And I was weighing out options, you heard? I was weighing out options, trying to figure life out. You know, at the dinner table, wife had the meal waiting on me, threw it in the microwave, put it on hit the 2 minutes, got it nice and right. And while I was eating, I was like, let me get on this thumbnail. Damn, I need to get on this thumbnail. And I was just weighing it out. But we here, man. More importantly, we are here, man. Dexter Haynes III. Salute, King. Yeah, we're going to talk about some boxing tonight, man. You know what I mean? I promised to do it, so we're here to deliver, man. Hope everybody's weekend was great this weekend. There was some boxing this weekend. Clarissa Shields had her card this weekend. We had Derek Chisora and Joyce, Joyce have a card this weekend. You know, pretty decent fights. Like, you know what I mean? Give and take. It was some pretty decent fights, and I believe am I missing the time frame? Was the Jake Paul event Friday night?
Yeah,
right. It was Friday night. So, you know, we had some decent fights this weekend. You know, if you wanted to watch boxing this weekend, there was boxing for you to watch. You know, I know a lot of times people don't want to, you know, you want to watch the main event fights. And yeah, Ergovich, that's my dude, Ryan Frazier. Salute to Ryan Frazier. You know, it's Monday. It's Freestyle Mondays. It's a little less organized in comparison to the rest of the week because, you know, I'm coming from work. I'm tired. I don't have time to really break down. So we're going to be freestyling. Just kind of, you guys participate and let us know what you want to talk about as well. If you want to bring up, I'm just going to, whatever comes to my mind. But we did watch a lot of boxing this weekend. Why is everyone foaming at the mouth to fight him? Why is everyone foaming at the mouth to fight him? Who? Dexter, fight him who? Mr. Jannard Hill, salute Claymore. It was some good outcomes also, for sure, Mr. Jannard. That is a fact, man. It was some upsets lately. You know, a lot of the stuff going on in boxing has a lot to do with everybody. Why is everyone foaming at the mouth to fight him? Come on, Dexter, money, money. He's the money man. He's the face of boxing. You know what I mean? It's a come up. It's a come up to fight 10. We'll talk about that as well because there's rumors going around that Shakur and Tank are working in the backgrounds to coordinate this fight. Tank has put his team on notice that he's not supposedly interested in fighting with Isak right now. Tank is, listen, if everything is going according to how I hope that it's going, Tank is focused on knocking the people off of his list. And that's what he's focused on. His team may try to dissuade him, but he's not gonna, move one way. Shout out to RC in the building. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Putting some color in the chat, some early color in the chat, supporting us, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate the grind, bro. We appreciate you guys being here, man. We started an hour late, and you guys are still here, man. The grassroots is real. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. And guys, don't be scared to put a little color in the chat. Don't be scared, you know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? Get me out my day job, you know what I mean? So we could do this every day, you know what I mean? I could come up right before, right after showbiz, you heard? salute to showbiz. Yeah, man. Tank resume is better than Shakur. I mean, Dexter, maybe you're right. It depends, you know what I mean? The quality of fighters, maybe, right? I probably would agree with you on that, but I'll tell you this, it really just doesn't matter at this point. The reality is styles make fights, and we know that those would be, whenever you could put a high-level boxer like Shakur Stevenson against a boxer puncher, and people are going to just say puncher, but boxer puncher in Tank Davis, you got the recipe for a great fight. And it doesn't matter who they fought triangle theory-wise, right? It just matters that they fight each other. We know why we want to see them fight. We want to see the questions asked. We want to see the boxes checked. And like Calvin Ford said, right? So that's what it's all about. That's definitely what it's all about. Tank is the first of 4 kings to beat each other. Yeah.
What does that got to do with anything? Like, we're talking boxing at the end of the day. It's cool though. Hey, you entitled to that opinion, sir.
Right.
I like it. No, I like what he's saying. He's building that. You know what I mean? He's building it up.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that they fight, because we know why we want to see them fight. You know what I mean? Shout out to my wife, Mrs. Rain, in the building. She brought me my coffee. You know what I mean?
Shout out.
I love my wife, man. She's great, real strong backbone support system.
And
get you on.
Much respect. We love her too for allowing you to do a great show, bro.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, man, a lot of great fights this weekend, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't super great, but it was entertaining. Like I said, if you wanted to watch boxing this weekend, there was some boxing to watch, right? Ray, what would you say was the best fight of the weekend, do you think? Out of the fights you had?
There's a lot of fights that was on.
I know. There was some decent. I think I don't know if people watched it, but if you watch boxing, there was some good fights this weekend, man. There was some decent fights.
I'm gonna have to get my phone because I know the fighters, but
right. Which card?
MVP card. Most valuable prospect.
The MVP card was a good card, man.
Bro,
that was a good card. Shout out Charles Edward Cheat. The MVP card was a good card, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Underrated. Probably not going to get talked about a lot, but a decent card, man. Decent fights on that card. I don't know if the best fight. Well, let's just talk about the big name, right? Let's talk about Derek Chisora and Joyce. Let's just talk about that. Let's get the elephant out the room. No pun intended. There's some big guys in the ring. There was a lot of conditioning issues, a lot of aging going on in the ring. But at the same time, Derek Chisora always not selling you short on a. He's gonna die in the ring before he gives you a boring show, right? He's not about pity-patting with you and playing that game and trying to outpoint you. Listen, man, he's gonna put it all in there. He's gonna leave it in there. And if he got to leave his soul in there, you know what I'm saying, and leave Earth, that's what he's gonna do. But the bigger fight, the bigger picture on this fight was Joyce. Where was Joyce gonna go, right? Like, you see this fight coming up. Joyce's last fight before that, he took 2 losses back to back to Zhilei Zhang, right? Joyce has always been kind of given that the jacket to wear of a slow, big, easy to hit fighter, right? And he really lived up to that this weekend, right? Saturday, he really lived up to that jacket that they put on him. He was slow, and he couldn't take his head off the line if you paid him $1 million to do it. He couldn't take his head off that line. He was just there to get hit. And even in a last attempt as Derek Chisora was completely out of condition and completely out of air in his lungs and was able to throw a right hand out of desperation. And of course it hit Joyce right in the face and put him on his pockets, right? Like, of course it did.
Sure. It was crazy. I was laughing too. I'm sorry. I was laughing. I did laugh. Clay was on the phone with me, so he know I laughed.
Yeah, man. It was just like, oh, of course, Joe. But of course, Joe. But of course. And he ended up losing the decision. And I think most of the boxing space right now has him pretty much done at this point. I mean, I think a lot of people had him done before the fight, but this was going to be his redemption fight, right? This was going to be the fight where he stopped the old bull and Derek Chisora, showed him there's levels of his game. Youth was going to outdo the old man. And he was going to try to get in some conversations. He was going to try to bring up, I beat Daniel Dubois, right? He's going to try to bring up his accolades in comparison to people that was up there. But at the end of the night, no, sir. You lost a decision to Derek Chisora. And what's next for Joe Joyce at this point? Like, let's be honest. I think ideally we would say, like, look, Joe Joyce needs to hang it up. He's done. Boxing is done with Joe Joyce. But we know that's not what he's going to do, right? He's not going to do that. He's there. He's there now. And where does he go from here?
Right. And I'm definitely with RC on that. Listen, I think after the second round, that fight was just who's holding up who, and just throwing whatever was in front of you, bro. It was actually really funny. It was one of the most. It was exciting, actually. Believe it or not, it was actually exciting because they was throwing punches at each other, but it was just like, yo, these dudes just sitting here leaning on each other, bro. It was like it was crazy.
It was messed up. And of course, I agree with RC too that both look dumb, but I think we all know what Chisora's done. Right? He went into this fight done, but he went in here to give Joe Joyce a good dancing partner, give Joe Joyce an opportunity to represent, you know what I'm saying, himself in a better light. And he went to go get paid. You know what I'm saying? To go get some money. Derek Chisora doesn't mind getting some money. He wasn't who the magnifying glass was on. Everybody know we was looking at Joe Joyce. It was about Joe Joyce. Like, what is he gonna do? Right? What was Joe Joyce gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And he took a big dump in the middle of the ring. He looked horrible, completely out of condition, big, tall. Wow, what happened to Joe Joyce's jab?
Right, that's what got me.
Like,
he had no jab. He was just hooking on. He was just hooking. Pause.
I think he got caught up in the moment of like trying to make a statement, and he was really trying to hook off on Derek Chisora. He knew that Derek Chisora was going to be there to get hit, because even though, however you want to look at it, Derek Chisora does move his head off the line. He does like to, he's there to be hit, but not like Joe. Joe's way more available to be hit. Joe's way more available to be hit.
Yeah,
but I thought he was just gonna bully him out of there. Like, he's a smaller guy. He's gonna stand there with me, and he was gonna show the game that Derek Chisora shouldn't be in the ring with him, which is what I think we would expect to a degree from a young, game, big pause. You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce, you would think that he would make, he would clean up Derek Chisora and get him up out of here and be like, yo, I'm a whole different animal. But I mean, after that fight, you could see Joe losing to everybody. Like, who does Joe Joyce beat? Like a cruiserweight just trying to come up? Like,
nope. All they got to do is stay away from him for the first 2 rounds, and that's it. Then they just go attack him. I'm telling you, bro had no.
He had nothing.
He had no gas, bro.
Exactly. Yo, salute for round one sports talk. Round one sports talk in the building.
Yeah, man. He
was up on the panel with Blue Blood the other night. And I'll probably, I'm going to put the link out there for him to come up and let him build with us a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up.
Hold on a second here. I don't know if he wants to hit the link. If you want to hit the link and come up, round one, you're more than welcome to come up. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say anybody who wants to, but anybody who wants to, right? Yo, Cheese, yeah, UFC was booty meat, man. Dana White was definitely not happy. with the results of that, going to Manchester and trying to have that event. Man, Leon Edwards put on that super lackluster performance, but we're going to talk boxing tonight, right? We're going to talk MMA, but I feel you, Cheese. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, man, for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There we go. Salute.
What's going on? We're one. Salute, man. Nice to meet you, bro. I heard a lot about you, bro.
Oh, your volume, your mute, your volume. Nope. Nope.
No sound.
Take your time.
Yeah, no sound.
You look like he were.
How about now?
I'm about to be like, nah, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I got you.
Well, using the wrong channel?
No, I didn't have my phantom power on my mixer and shit. I turn that off sometimes when I don't want the mic on. You know how it is. You don't want big bro hearing you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want to control that. You definitely want to control that, man.
Absolutely.
I was trying to get up on the show a little earlier. I couldn't get that link to work, so I'm like, I'll catch him on the next time, or just stay in the chat.
Yeah. I was hearing my audio. I wasn't getting it quite like the way I wanted because I just acquired some new equipment, new camera and new mixer, and I'm just like 5 days into this, and getting my fader and everything to correspond with each other is where I'm at right now. But definitely I cut my show off short, and I saw that you were on, and I would like to have come on and express some things with boxing. And like always, when we can always come together and talk about boxing with respect, I always enjoy that. And sharing my boxing viewpoints with men that know about the sport. And that's why I come on to shows like this, because we can sit down and we can come together rather than swearing at each other or disrespecting each other, and acknowledge that we all have a common goal, is to build and elevate the sport of boxing. Is that not correct?
100%. 100%. Yo, what's your name, by the way?
My name is Edwin.
Edwin. That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Yes, Round One Sports Talk is my channel. Yes.
Right. No doubt. Edwin, you hit it right on the nail. You know what I mean? And that's what, there's a few of us out here that's preaching that. We get a lot of pushback on it because a lot of people just don't want to hear it. They're like, you just want to, celebrate some guy that you're making excuses, right? But no, look, at the end of the day, it's about building the sport up, man. It's about building the sport up, building up good fights, you know what I mean? Supporting good fights happening, not tearing down fights, not doing those that type of nonsense, building up great fights, and putting the boxing fan in the best space to get the best entertainment they can get out of the sport, as well as giving a lot of fighters the opportunity to build their legacy, right? To make sure they don't leave this sport without having the fights that we know they're supposed to have, and not allowing them to miss out on that opportunity, because a lot of the fan base right now really have these fighters, in my opinion, feeling like you don't need to fight those fights. We love you already. We already think you're the greatest. You don't have to fight those fights no more. And it's just like, they're like, well, if you're going to be happy with me fighting a C-class fighter and just getting a tomato can out here and still want to put me in the Hall of Fame, then why should I put my physical health in danger by fighting somebody who could probably do something to me?
That's where I feel like the sport has been watered down, where that the Jake Pauls of the world and these other fighters have the fight fan has a misconception of what a real fighter is supposed to look like. And I understand that, some of us view Jake Paul as playing with boxing, and others say that he's bringing eyes to the sport, and all the fighters that he's bringing up with him, Amanda Serrano in point. But to reintegrate what you're trying to express on your channel is to unify us and to give us a broader understanding of where we're coming from as American fighters. We need to acknowledge ourselves as first an American team. We're constantly going at each other's throat and taking out each other in the mix of popularity for social media, where that competition has become second nature rather than what you look like in social media.
Right.
And then we're blind to the fact that a fighter such as Lomachenko can back out of a fight with Tank Davis, and who's getting all the criticism? Shakur Stevenson, our next American fighter. And they're noticing that all they have to do is step back and let the Americans be Americans. They'll kill each other.
Right.
You see? And that's where we need to acknowledge that boxing is like the Olympics, and these are our gold medals. We talked about it, brother.
Right.
And we need to bring those gold medals and those belts back home. And we need to elevate our sport and understand, yes, as American competitors, we can compete against each other, but also show respect. This is getting to the point where we're starting to show our fighters that not only that we want to beat you in the ring, but let's take it to the streets. American. And what does that do for our fighter? Nothing.
Right.
It does not promote our fighter in the right light. And it doesn't make him win any more fights in the ring.
Right.
Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis, yes, they should be competing against each other, not in the light that is being presented. And with Loma and the other Ukrainian fighter in the 135-pound weight division sliding out the back door, Tank Davis is about to take out Shakur Stevenson, and they don't got one but two chances to take us out and walk away with all the gold. And we, as Americans, we're so boisterous and so caught up on the fact that we only support one fighter. And we think that that one fighter is going to beat all. Because we're taught at a very young age, when our coaches look at us as children, what do they tell you? Win. To win. And in the NFL, we compete against each other. We're taught to fight against each other. And we forget that boxing is a global sport. We're also competing against other nations, Mexico, China, Japan, Russia, Ukraine, you name it. And then we're all stuck on the fact of what? America always believing that there only be one fighter, one best fighter. That's not true. We have an American team that is representing it first by Terrence Crawford, led by the rest of the team, Tank Davis, Devin Haney's of the world, the Errol Spence Jr., and the list goes on. Those are our boys. Those are the guys that are on the front line, lacing it up every day to bring us blood, to bring us these belts back home. And the rest of the countries know our weakness, that we are so caught up in our own self-worth that we will attack each other.
100%, man. Like, I agree with you. I think, we could show a little bit more uniformity. I mean, there's still a competitive spirit about the sport, you know what I mean? And, like you said before, like, everybody's going to have their fighter. Everybody's going to want their fighter, you know what I'm saying, to be the top guy. And that's okay. But it does get a little extreme with the tearing down and the hating and the outside of the ring antics. Like, it just gets so deep. Like, man, come on, bro. It's just not that serious. Let these guys compete, let them talk to each other however they want to talk to each other. Let them, get themselves into the fight. But as fans, I think we do cross the line a lot of
Cross
times.
the line. Shit. Yeah. As American fighters, I will respect saying, bro, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. I'm gonna fuck you and your training camp and your coaches. But when we start going off to wives and children,
yeah, bro,
talking about, how Americans is, we're only about how dirty you can talk, how deep you can cut with your words.
Right.
We're not satisfied until you're talking about somebody's baby's mama. You see?
Right.
I can respect regular shit talking. I can respect you walking up on a podium and saying, I'm going to fuck you up. That's basic boxing shit talking. Right. In America, we want to say we slept with your baby's mama.
Yeah, it can get pretty.
You get shot in some places for shit like that, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some places that people battle rap, and there's some places you can't, because you get shot in your face for trying to say some slick shit to me. Right? So not all people take it the same.
Yeah.
Right. Not to mention.
No, go ahead, Ray, for sure.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, I think what it comes down to ultimately is the favorite fighter. And then the narratives, like people paint narratives all day and they try to big up their fighter so much that they're bigging them up so much. They're not even really doing that. They're actually bringing the other fighter down, the opponent down, instead of trying to build a fight. Trying to make that opponent to be someone else. We're listening to every distractor and every negative proponent for Shakur Stevenson, why he can't fight Tank. We listened to it why Devin couldn't fight Tank. We listened to it why Ryan wasn't a good fight for Tank. We constantly hear these things on a daily basis, and it's like wash, rinse, repeat, and it goes from channel to channel to channel to channel, and it's like the same people, and then they sit on it for like a month or two. We heard it with the Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. We heard it with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. And then when you look, hindsight's 20/20, when you start looking at things as they start coming forward, we start seeing things differently. Like I don't have no cat in the bag for any of the fighters or whatever the case may be. Like I don't know any of these guys personally. Yeah, I would like to see them all get in the ring. I would like to see certain things happen and things of that nature. But I'm not going to sit there and start painting stuff, telling you why this guy, I don't like this guy because it's his daddy, and I don't like this guy because this, and that. And Claire tell you, look, I don't like certain people the way they address themselves in public. And like you just said, like the stuff you were just talking about, they go the extra mile to be disgraceful. I don't like that. I don't think that's sportsmanship. And when I start seeing stuff like that, I kind of like move away from it. And there's a couple fighters out there that I feel that way towards, and I don't think some of them don't even go that extreme. It just leaves a bad taste. And if you're a real sports fan, you understand the difference between loving a sport and loving a fighter, and you got to separate the two. That's what you got to be able to do that. You know what I mean? When your guy's in the ring, you cheer for him, whatever, and when he's not, you know what I mean? You just want to see him fight the best, and that's how we got to rock with it.
Yo, hold on a second. Yo, Hoodrich, nobody don't think Tank don't want to fight Shakur. I know Tank want to fight Shakur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact Tank want to fight Shakur. That's not what the conversation is about. I don't know, like, if that's what you think it's about. It's definitely not about that. I wasn't. He said that before you started talking about it. Hold on.
Oh, no. I don't think anybody said that.
Right. Exactly. We weren't even talking about that fight, to be honest with you. But that what we're talking, I mean, to be honest with you, kind of like expanding a little bit, like what you said right there is kind of like what we're talking about, right? Like we're actually talking about Tank, Shakur, Devin, Tio, all these fighters. Oh, in the comments. Oh, okay. Oh, I got you, Hoodrich, no doubt. We're talking about these fighters all getting a certain amount of support from the country. You know what I'm saying? It's in a what that looks like, not just talking about them getting support from the country, but also speaking on what that actually looks like. What does that look like to support them? You know what I mean? And, campaigning and supporting American fighters to go around the world and collect titles and fight the best and force boxing back into this space where people coming over here to challenge and try to get, and try to get titles and try to get recognition, and this being the place of, like the NBA in comparison to the rest of the world in basketball, right? Like this is where the talent is at, you know what I mean? Instead of it just being a whole entire, like, we're just always just shooting at each other, you know what I'm saying? This completely, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, like the rest of the world has moved on with boxing, and that's why boxing looks like it looks. That's why you see, that's why you see Turkey putting on those cards. Shout out to Ron Frazier in the building, bro.
Going on, man. Going on to the panel. Shout out.
Can I share something with what you were?
Real quick, one second, just to say that Turkey is putting on these cards, right? and you're seeing fighters go over there, and they're getting upset, bro. Shout out to Raymond Ford, you know what I'm saying, who put on a great fight. He put on a great fight over there. But him and Nick Ball went at it, and you're seeing like the matchmaking take its toll, right? The best not fighting the best. You're seeing fighters really not developing the way I would think they would develop if they will matchmake better. And then when they get put into a situation where Turkey's offering the good money, but his matchmakers are really making matches, like he's looking stylistically at fights and being like, this fighter should fight this fighter because of these reasons. And then you see them get in the ring and it's a real throwdown. That's why I'm telling everybody, watch out for this Terrence Crawford and Israel Masvidal fight, right? Like this fight will probably be way more competitive than people are thinking about because it was actually thought of why they put these guys in the ring with each other, right? So at the end of the day, I guess it's kind of like a best versus the best rant a little bit. The development of the fighters suffer at the end of the day when that doesn't happen, when you're not properly matchmaking and putting everything together. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead, Edwin.
Yeah. I just wanted to reiterate on a little bit about what Hoodrich was saying here, and what he views as boxing, and that when the shit talking comes out to a level that turns him off, that's not what he's interested in. And that's what a lot of hardcore fans are interested in, is the same thing that he is, the sweet science and what you can do in the ring. It's what you do in the ring. It's not what you do or what you say outside of the ring. Talk is cheap in this world, and what we want to see are the best. I ask myself this question every time I view boxing: where does the best fighter in the world come from? And who is he? And respectfully, I don't see skin color. I just see the best. And I want to know who that man is. Whether it's you're up to debate, whether it's Terrence Crawford, Naoya Inoue, or Usyk, or anyone else, it's how you view the sweet science. And I just want to express that with the rest of you on this panel, that we all support and are promoting boxing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute. What's good with you, Ryan?
Not much, man. Not much. Just enjoying the weekend, had a good time with the family. And we got a good week ahead of us, boy. But
oh man, listen, we're not going to talk about it right now because that's the whole nother. This is going to be the best. I'm looking forward to this weekend like you wouldn't believe, bro. Like
Terrence Crawford fight. Let's talk about it, guys.
The whole card, bro. Like, listen to me, bro.
Let's talk about it. Come on.
No, save it till later.
When I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm telling you, people are talking about ticket sales, this, and I don't care if there's nobody in the building. I don't care if there's not a damn person.
Man, I wish I could go to that fight. I got my reporter's license and everything.
Yeah,
it's just a little bit,
dude.
I'm not there financially to just abandon ship and be like, wife, don't worry, the kids will be fine in the college fund. We'll reboost that up. But I gotta go.
Right, gotta book this hotel and get ready to go out there and get part of this experience. Man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like people are trying to downsell it. Like, oh man, the tickets ain't selling, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why the tickets ain't selling. I could tell you I'm not there because I live on the East Coast. But listen, this fight, this card, you're not taking this away from me. You're not taking away my joy. You can't do it. It's not there for you to do it.
You know what I mean? Where the fighters are staying, I would love to be in the lobby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the fighters where they're staying at. I would love to be in the fucking lobby. I don't know what the hell anybody else is talking about. When there's so many fights on this card that can be that surprise. You got your Isa Pitbull Cruz. You got your Andy Cruz.
Did you guys see Jarrell Miller? He cut weight, bro. He's in shape. Did you guys know that he's working in Bosey's gym?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bosey is training him.
Well, from 300 pounds on his last performance, 298 he into the ring.
Crazy.
So from there, I would hope that he at least, you know what I mean?
Listen, I got a feeling, and Boots said it. Boots said, I'm telling y'all right now. He said, I'm telling y'all right now, Jarrell is going to shock you guys. That's what he said. He said, Jarrell's about to shock you guys. Jarrell Miller's about to shock you guys. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, trust me, I'm telling you.
Well, his opponent, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, is fast for a heavyweight. He's really fast on the trigger for a heavyweight. He's a smaller heavyweight, but he fights like a cruiserweight. And that's what gave Anthony Joshua a lot of problems, I believe, was his speed. Yeah. He wasn't convinced that he would catch up to him that fast. And once Anthony Joshua got caught with that fight, with that shot, I'm going to be honest, he never recovered from that shot. But that means that the Destroyer, Anthony Ruiz, can crack.
100%.
Yeah. And just because you're in shape and you lose a lot of weight doesn't mean that you concentrated on the fight.
No, that's true. But just to push back, let's keep it 100 here. Bozy don't play. Bozy don't play. He's not playing no games. He's not going to. If Bozy signs on it and says this is official, I'm looking for changes. I'm looking for adjustments. I'm looking for discipline. I don't know what to expect all the way. I don't know. Like Andy definitely could do, but it definitely makes me feel way more like what? And then when I saw Jarrell today being interviewed, I said, dude looks in. You could see how slim he got. You could see how he looked like. I was just like, yo,
look what Jerron Boots and his dad did for Andy Cruz.
Exactly.
And the way he looks every performance since he's been working with that man. Every time you seen Andy Cruz, I gotta admit, not only did I see a better level of the man, but he looked sharper.
Facts.
And that's what was important about letting your fighter come out. Boots is not gonna put his stamp on it if he didn't officially approve it.
Now, here's a question I had.
Yeah. Let me say one thing at the Ray. Go ahead.
Yeah, and pushing back on what you just said, Clay. If Bozy is training Andy Cruz and he's also training Jarrell Miller, like how does he have time for both of them? I'm not saying it's not possible. I know he got his sons in there training with him and things of that nature. Just laying out a game plan and letting him rock with the game plan, or is he literally going over it with him, or does Andy have his game plan? He knows what his routine is. He's rocking, because that's going to be a hard task to have both.
He's got two fighters on the card.
Same card.
Brother, that's a good point, my man. That is a good fucking point.
And another thing though, like the reason I'm going with Andy, because you can't just show up. You feel me? It takes time, but I feel like it is gonna be a lot of key adjustments that we gonna see. But I just feel like when Andy Ruiz healthy, bro, he a dog, bro.
Oh, he's a dog.
Yeah, but inactivity, man, it kills, bro. It kills.
No, fact.
Ring rust is a real thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Baby Miller was just in there with Dubois, and he gave him a good fight.
Yeah,
he gave him a good fight, but he came in out of shape. Like
he came out of shape like a motherfucker.
Let me tell you, when Turkey gets involved and with the way he pays and the what your future looks like if you impress him, it motivates these fighters.
It's hard to say no.
And they also show with their A game, like they really go all out, like they really put it all out there, because they're like, yo, bro, if this dude could just grab me up and say, listen, I like the way you fight, I'm putting you on my next card. These dudes is actually looking at real life-changing opportunities when they jump in front of a Turkey Al-Sheikh and they jump on his card. They just step up. Like the way you saw Jarrell, the way I just saw Jarrell lose 45 pounds for this fight, that shows you motivation. That's like, I can't play. He's giving me a second chance. I can't play with this one.
Mm-hmm.
With that, in his last performance, even if he came in overweight at almost topping the scale at 300 pounds, the one thing I can take out of that fight is I didn't see any quit in Jarrell Miller's eyes.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, he was a dog, man. He was there.
I didn't see any quit. Even he tried to work with what he knew, but there was at no point in the fight that I see he wanted out. So now with 40 pounds lighter and that kind of heart going into a fight, let's see what he can do.
Let's see it. Talk about it, Edwin. Let's see. That's what it's all about. Let's see it. And that's what it's all about. I mean, for everybody on that card, damn it. everybody on that card, bro. Like, let's see what David Morrell does with Hot Rod. Let's see. Let's see.
That's a Hot Rod, yo.
Does he stay? Does he stay? Does he stay at 175? Does he leave the Canelo sweepstakes too? Does he say this dude is trying to fight a bunch of Berlangas and he ain't worried about me? Does he just stay at 175 and make his run there? You know what I mean?
I got a question about that though. I got a question like
what does he do with a real heavyweight? Because I think he's facing his first real heavyweight in this fight on Saturday. But go ahead.
Did Hot Rod fight Amari Jones on the Haney undercard?
Nah, I think Amari Jones is 160. I think.
Yeah, Amari Jones is a smaller guy.
Okay.
Can't be 154, but I think he fights at 60.
It was somebody that looked just like him now. Because if I was about to say, if that's the same guy, he's gonna stop him.
I think he beat Sullivan Barrera on Pro Box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
plays Pro Box, right? Here's the thing. He stays up there. Why does he stay up there? Because the opportunity. It's not the opportunity of fighting Canelo or not. He already knows he's a bigger, stronger fighter than Canelo. He already knows Canelo's days are numbered. He knows where the excitement's going to be. The excitement's going to be at 175. This whole division is going to start getting lit. The changes are happening already. 168 is probably going to, have their fighters, but they're not going to be, it's not going to be that many people there as of next year. You watch a lot of people are going to be moving up. Why are they moving up? Because the action's at 175. The time is now. Canelo's been reigning in that division, not giving the top fighters their due for the last 3 or 4 years. He's only been fighting the guys that's been next to them. All the young guys are coming to 168 from 160. They're starting to move up and push up and wait. So it's time to make room for them. All these guys going up. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo actually jumps up to 175 to get in the mix after his fight. Even if he does fight Bud or doesn't fight Bud, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get up there and uses WBO status to cut off the fight with David Benavidez. See, I can go undisputed again. Why not?
I saw Canelo try to jump up to 175, and he made a valid effort, and he came up short against Dimitri Bivol. And your point is about 168 division. It's the same thing that happened at the 135 division, where that at one point in time, everybody was there. Then everybody moved up to the 140. Now the 135 is kind of like empty, and all that's there is Shakur and Tank. And a
bunch of prospects.
When once upon a time, it was a very, very populated, flourished division, right? So with Saul Canelo Alvarez, you're right about the fact that, he's holding up the division and not fighting anybody. The IBF just recently spoke louder than words by stripping him and showing that they're the only organization that will show that they have a ranking system. He did defend the IBF mandatory, so he was sneaky about how he was doing it. Remember when he won the IBF championship against Caleb Plant in 2021?
Yeah, so that's 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Sorry.
Yes, that's when he won it against Sweet Hand Caleb Plant. So since then, he has honored the WBA, the IBF, but BC has been on some trickery shit where they elect with their 32 board members who they deem should fight for their title. That's where the controversy comes with David the Monster Benavidez. Now, I'm like you guys. I would love to see that fight. But at the end of the day, we have to remind the boxing public, right, what is good and fair in the sport of boxing. We wouldn't be in this situation if David the Monster Benavidez did not lose his belt for recreational drug use, cocaine.
Yeah, but Triple G, remember, he made Canelo drop the belt too when he went for it.
Yeah.
I mean, David should have did that.
Right. If David the Monster Benavidez was staying the course, no one beat him for that belt. He would still have it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what he did was he tried to show the WBC, because he had history with them, because he was just a former champion. He never thought to go the IBF way. And the way these ranking system works, for anyone that's listening, right? They don't automatically just elect you the number one contender. You got to notify them that you're interested to move up in their ranking system to compete for their belt. You got to notify the sanctioning bodies that you're interested on pursuing their world title. You don't just wake up one day and they elect you the number 2 ranked opponent. That's not how that works. And so when David the Monster Benavidez was trying the WBC way, people were asking, why didn't he go the WBO, the WBA? He would have ran into the same wall. You got to understand that boxing is a sport disguised as a business. And when you got business going on, who's going to raise their hand to strip the highest paying boxer that's bringing to your sanctioning body? You raise your hand in my office and elect to strip Saul Canelo Alvarez, you will no longer work here. And on the way out, dump him.
But the IBF did it twice, man. It's not the first time they stripped Canelo.
No, the IBF is the only organization that is acknowledging the fans.
Yeah,
when we ask for change and we ask for them to respect their ranking system, and the IBF strips Terrence Crawford, some people take that as a disrespect. When who they get the belt to? Jerron Bruce Ennis. And what did he do with it? Just represented it. More money, more money. That was the right move. So when the IBF is doing this, sometimes the fans push back. They don't understand why they just stripped Usyk. Yeah. But Usyk had a rematch clause with Tyson Fury, and the IBF is saying, yo, that's nice for you, but we have a ranking system. Damn it, if the number 1 contender is not going to get his shot. We acknowledge that you would like to fight Tyson in a rematch, but that's your own personal business.
Yes.
What happens when the fighter thinks he's bigger than boxing? Boxing has to remind him, you think that's your belt?
Yep.
You think that you own that belt? There's champions before you and after you. That belt will stay right here. You don't tell us what to do. We tell you what to do.
Yeah, but I don't like that because you still got to pay for it.
Let's remember.
Like, it's stupid.
You're at your job.
It's stupid, man.
Let's remember that this is the way you provide for your family.
Right.
This is your job. And at any job, you don't come in and tell the boss what to do. And sometimes these fighters think that they're bigger than boxing. And they think they're going to tell boxing what to do. When Usyk tried to tell the IBF, I'm going to fight him, I'm going to do what I want, they said, well, then you could do whatever you want. Just give us our belt. Because we have a ranking system and a schedule. And just like you, when you were moving up, remember when you wanted the champion to recognize you and give you an opportunity? Damn it if we're not keeping that honorary system here at the IBF. And they are speaking louder than words, and other organizations need to take a page out of their fucking rules so that we can respect them as organizations and champions rather than favoritism and clicks and likes. And then we can avoid from champions being like fucking Rolly.
Well, you know what? I believe these fighters don't even need the belts, man. That's what I think.
They don't, because like
he can go in stadium. Be a
brother, please, brother.
Oh, you know where I'm going with this.
For the little bit that I know you gentlemen, don't be fooled by that statement. In any sport that you compete in, what you want, ask Jordan if he didn't need the trophy.
If there's four of them,
if he didn't need the most prestigious award.
Yeah, the Ring magazine is the most prestigious one. The man who
Wrong. The Ring magazine. This is where things. I love to talk boxing. The Ring magazine isn't backed by anything.
I like him, man.
You don't pay sanctioning fees to nothing.
That's great. I don't pay
on the Ring Size magazine, but as an organization, sanctioning fees are paid to all 4 major sanctioning bodies. Now, although the Ringside magazine's been around for a long time and is very prestigious, what it was the people's champion.
Right.
It was a belt that was designed when the white fighter didn't want to fight the black American fighter back in the days. Now it's been elevated to the number 1 fighting the number 2. But since the Ringside magazine isn't a belt that's throughout all divisions, I can't consider it a real world championship when it's become a popularity contest award. It is a trophy that just goes around your waist. That's all it is.
My problem with
isn't a real belt. That
wait, hold on. Wait a second. Yeah. Wait, Ryan, go ahead. Bill, go ahead with
my problem with the sanctioning bodies is right here. They don't do nothing for the fighters. Like that 3% don't go back to boxing. It don't
exactly.
Go back
it go to their pocket. So why y'all stripping niggas?
There's no retirement.
Go to their pocket.
This is foolishness. Like you charging $3 to hold or 3% to hold your belt up in the air after a fight. Like that's crazy.
Right.
Yes, but you got to understand that.
Wait, hold on 1 second, Edwin. Right.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it has to the rubber has to hit the road somewhere, right? The reality is that we want the best fighting the best. We want some sort of organization. We want some understanding of some sort of structure in boxing, so where boxers aren't just necessarily only doing what they want to do, that they have some obligation not only to the fans, you know what I'm saying, but also to the sport. But we also have to acknowledge that the system itself is corrupt, right?
Yes, it is.
In a way to where things are being abused, and it's actually caused these fighters to become very resistant to the idea of the structure of these belts. These fighters have become very defensive and very resistant to the idea of a sanctioning body charging them money, taking percentages of their purses, and not providing any other services for them. And they're shining for their belts, right? They're like, we're representing for your belts, and nothing's coming out of it. So that's why I believe Ryan Frazier's like, well, at least the Ring magazine is not necessarily on that same time, and it is a belt that is recognized and respected in the game. And if you can have that belt, you know what I mean, and people can go for one belt, then it puts some perspective on.
Don't get me wrong. The way I view the Ringside magazine, it is a very prestigious belt, and I would be honored to wear it.
Right.
Okay. It looks like the Rocky belt. Okay. So as far as that, and there's also another belt that's called the lineal belt. Okay. Inside of boxing, where that you can have the 4 major sanctioning bodies, have the ring and the lineal. Okay, and then that's actually like what 6 belts and shit, right? But when we're talking about paying 3% to the sanctioning bodies, you have to keep it in mind that these people give you the world stage. They give you their title to be able to be the person that you are. The fame and everything comes from the stage that they created. Let's keep in mind that these belts are only as good as the men and women that held them. That's what makes these belts prestigious. The champions that wrap them around their waist. We also got to keep in mind that the WBC does not give a fuck what the IBF is doing and who they mandatory. They only care about their belt.
Right. So,
and then when you got 4 major sanctioning bodies with different views of how their champion should be presented, sometimes that creates confusion.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ray. Ray's frozen. But at the end of the day, you know, give and take whatever these belts is and however they're organized, there's always going to be resistance where there's corruption. And what happens is you get situations like this where the fighters become rebellious to the whole entire system and the way it's set up, and they start to reject it. Like, I mean, you look at Tank. Tank got to a point where he was just like, I don't care about none of these damn belts. You know what I mean? Floyd was notorious for getting these belts, and the next morning, had his bacon, egg, and cheese and made his phone call to everybody and let them know while he was eating his bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. Like, you can come get these motherfuckers whenever you want them. Whenever you're ready, you can come get them. I'm done.
You brought up.
Let me jump in here real quick, because I just want to also say that I do agree with everybody on the panel. no matter where your take is on this, because at the end of the day, if you notice, every sanctioning body has actually developed belts that are not even belts; they're titles. And I try to explain to a lot of fans that the titles and the championship belts are two different things. The title is just something that you hold. They designed it as a trophy that they designed as a belt that you put around your waist, and they'll say you're the intercontinental champion, or you're the international champion, or you're the silver belt champion, or you're the diamond champion. They have all these different belts lined up for somebody to say, like, yeah, you got a title. The title does not give you the really same accolade as a champion. Like the champion, the championship title is a belt holder. They're the person that's at the top of the mountain that you need to come up there and take it from them. And that's where they draw their issues at, because they actually charge 3% on all those belts all those titles that they make. They do a 3% fee on. So all these people are happy to get these titles because they feel that's pay for them. Right. They feel that that's putting them in line, and that doesn't necessarily put them in line, because all they're doing is just getting their name out there to who? Because I can tell you right now, there's about 6 champions that fought the other night that we don't even know that they have titles. You know what I mean? Right. We don't even know that, because what are these titles? And then you get to the point where you're looking for the other fighters to be looking for these titles. As far as the lineal or the Ring Magazine belt or whatever you want to call it, I do believe that has more weight to it. I believe that actually has the ultimate weight, even though it's designed to get from the people and to give to the champion once a year. It used to be a yearly thing, like a fighter of the year type thing, or accolade. But I think that actually holds more weight, because that's saying, like, you're the best. You are our champion. You're a champion of the people. And that says a lot more, because then we do see that in that space. Now, unfortunately, it came from what you mentioned earlier. It came from a different time, you know what I mean, in boxing. But at the end of the day, the meaning is still significant, because it shows that the people are given the rights to all the people, all the champions, which champion they believe is the best to hold that title and run lineal, or run be the people's champ and represent them. And that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day.
Yo, right. Well, hold on. I do want to move the needle, because nobody cares.
That's a fact, right?
I want to be honest. Nobody cares, right? Nobody really cares that much. Like, the education is there, but I wanted to jump in and segue into a complete other topic, because I want to talk about Floyd Schofield a little bit and JoJo Diaz. I want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, what's happening with Shakur a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to tap into, because we have somebody here. If you guys don't know, we got Hood Rich in the building, who's a very, very close friend of Tank Davis, like on a very, very, very close level. I'd love to get some insight on as to how those negotiations are going from his perspective. I know he's not in there. You know, nobody's telling him straight up what's going on, but he's in there every single day at what the hell the name, the Upton gym.
Well, right. He did get some film time on that clip. I seen him in the ring with the little kid.
You know what I'm saying?
He got some film time.
I definitely want to dabble into that a little bit as well. And we could definitely talk about Clarissa Shields and her performance, and what did that really mean for her legacy, because although she got the knockout, and that was the first knockout she got in the longest time, how much weight are we really putting on it? You know what I mean? Like, she fought somebody who's like a nobody, 7 wins now with a loss on their record, and I don't know what that really means for her. And then we can also talk a little bit about Turkey putting a little bit of pressure on Canelo, supposedly, supporting the UFC going on the same night on September 14th. And honestly, like I said last week, how excited is anybody getting for this?
That.
You know what I mean? How much excitement are we really going to be able to muster up for this Canelo fight? Like, and even that, like, how much excitement can we muster up for Arizona? What's my man's name? Danny Garcia, and what's my man's name?
Edgar Berlanga? Oh
no, you're talking about Lara.
Lara. Right, like, I mean, that one as well. Like, I mean, we could talk about all, but I do want to start off.
Let me integrate on at least Canelo, and I'll let anybody talk about anything else. But as far as Canelo Alvarez and the David Benavidez debacle and all these rumors of him passing up on money, I honestly believe that Saul Canelo Alvarez has gotten to a point in his career with 60 professional fights that he has given the fans enough blood. Stay with me, guys. Now, I understand that there is a certain level and a certain status to being a champion of where is it that you can get in your career where that you can take a couple less appealing fights and have the fans support you, right? Okay. But Saul Canelo Alvarez decided to double down and bang on his chest and say that he's the best. Had he just slid out the back door, I think we would have supported him. But on the way out, he had to put on this little fucking crown and declare himself the best when he wasn't fighting the guys in his division. So when we talk about him passing up on the money with David the Monster Benavidez, I think he's only chasing one thing, and that's Floyd Mayweather's gate. Floyd Mayweather had almost $1 billion fight. And who passes up on 200 million? A man that's looking for that $1 billion fight. He has his dancing partner. The world is highly anticipating him fighting David the Monster Benavidez. As a business standpoint, I think he's holding up on the fight until his bill's big enough where that he can say that he passed Floyd Mayweather's gate. I'm not sure if him and his management understand that back in the day when Floyd Mayweather was selling pay-per-views, we couldn't stream it or steal it. Yeah, like that pirate box, and they shot the bullet at it. You know what I'm saying? If you were fortunate to have that, but pay-per-view was pay-per-view, and that was the only way you can get the fight. Now that streaming and the internet has dipped into that, it's hard to beat that gate. But Saul is banking on the fact that the Saudis are going to put up the money. And I'm banking on the fact that on his way out, he will fight David the Monster Benavidez, but they're going to have to pay him that $1 billion. That's my outtake.
That was strong. That's strong.
That's an interesting perspective. I ain't going to hold you.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I was actually talking about that the other day with you, Clay. Something very similar, not the exact same thing, but very similar. About he's trying to build the fight up. I didn't go into money. I just thought the 200 million. I'm sorry, 200 million was enough for him to ask for. As far as $1 billion, that's crazy.
Yeah,
he got 700 million with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, but how
to beat that?
How big do he expect Benavidez to get though if he's still around? That's my question.
I don't know. Who the fuck says no to 200 million and 100% of pay-per-view?
Exactly. Right.
When Errol Spence Jr. fought Terrence Crawford, he got paid $3.2 million out of his purse. He made $23 million off of pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pay-per-view money is serious.
Canelo's got to be careful here.
I think it's a pointless mission for him, and I think he's just going to spin his wheels out and end up looking. I think he's just working on a shot thrown at his legacy. I think everybody's getting over it. Even the way David Benavidez handled it was perfect. You know, where he's just like, "Go ahead, bro, take the interim title. I'm done with the division. I'm gonna move on to 175." Nobody wants to play that game, and I question if David.
Were you over it with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr.? How many times did you say?
It was just different.
Nah, brother. I can imagine. I was fed up with that fight. I was done with it. I said, every year they announced it for 6 years. I can remember my frustration. And then the minute they gave it to me, I was happy.
Okay, but look, here's the difference. With the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight, it wasn't like Errol was like, I don't see no reason to fight him. I'm not fighting him. Or Terrence like, I'm not trying to fight him. We knew they were trying to make the fight. And we knew there was certain politics happening around the fight.
Not politics, car accidents.
That too, right? That too. But there was also a negotiation issue where where they were trying to tell Terrence to take something less than what he wanted to take. And he was almost ready to walk away from the opportunity based off of that. You guys
want to know the truth about that? I want to work you guys' memory. This is between us. Don't let anybody else know. You guys do know that going into the fight with Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, that Errol Spence Jr. came into that fight registered as an inactive fighter. They took him off the pound for pound rating. He was so far away from boxing that he wasn't even in the ranking system. The next day after he lost, he went back into the ranking system. So although the world wants to give Terrence Crawford his credit, I think they're giving him more credit for Errol's name of the fighter he once was. Because I got to admit, Errol didn't look like Errol when he fought Carol Brooks. Okay? Those car accidents took a lot from him, and I got to acknowledge that. So much, in fact, that he wasn't even a ranked fighter coming into that fight, if you want to know the truth.
So that was his fault, though.
No, he wasn't ranked because he was a title holder.
Yeah.
Right.
No, he wasn't ranked because of his inactivity.
Yeah.
He was unranked for inactivity.
That's Al Heyman, though.
Top 100 or whatever the case may be.
He was a unified champion.
Yes, he was a unified champion, but I want to alert you to this. Coming into the fight against Terrence Crawford, the official ranking system had deemed him an inactive fighter.
Yeah, but
remember
I blame Al because Crawford told him, he said, "Look, I'm gonna fight this year, with you or without you."
And then he went and fought that white dude that his gloves had malfunctioned in the ring.
They tried to call his bluff. So they tried to call his bluff, and he made $10 million. So we can't blame Terrence Crawford or
no, we can't blame him. I'm just reintegrating this because it seems like a lot of boxing fans don't talk about that. And I got receipts on my channel where I have actual video the day before the fight. I'm on Boxing Record and I'm alerting the public. Look what Boxing Record has. Errol Spence Jr., an inactive fighter.
Yeah. And did y'all see how big of a gap was he like him as like the favorite?
Crawford fought his name.
I'm pretty sure Crawford
rather than the fighter himself.
You go look.
He was a shell of himself.
I mean, look, man. He pulled up. He pulled up and said, "What I got is enough."
But whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Is that Terrence Crawford's fault?
No, that's Errol's
fault. Hell no, that ain't Terrence Crawford's fault.
Because Terrence Crawford did his job. He showed up.
Yeah.
He was a professional. It didn't.
Bud is him, bro.
Exactly.
And you had those belts, man. Then fight me. That's not Terrence Crawford or to knock Terrence Crawford. No. He did everything he needed to leading up into that fight. He did his job. Hats off to you.
Bud number one for a reason, man.
Number one. And he became the first man in boxing history to solidify all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions.
Yes, he did, man.
Hats off to you.
He going for 3.
So look, just bringing it full circle back to Canelo, right? Just to say that, all right, fine. At this point, Canelo Alvarez is giving us this fight with Berlanga on September 14th. Right, this is what he's decided he's giving us. It was either going to be Berlanga or it was going to be Eubanks. I don't know which one would have been, which one was going to be worse. But we have Berlanga. I think Puerto Rico, Mexico.
They're gonna show up, man.
That's what it's going to be. Does this affect Canelo's legacy at this point? At this point, like, is he? I mean, we've been saying that. Like, I see Ray shaking his head, right, and we've been saying no for a long time, right? But I'm getting a feeling from the boxing space. I'm getting this feeling of every single time he makes one of these fights, you see the space start speaking and putting more weight on these choices. They're not letting it slide as much as they were letting it slide yesterday. Like, you could see the effect. And I'm telling you, even on the pay-per-view sales, that's going to come, I wonder what we're going to see, what to expect from the pay-per-view sales from this fight. How many people are really done with it and about to steal these fights? And this pay-per-view, if it does under 300,000 pay-per-views, is it a failure?
Yeah, look, right. This how it is, bro. Like, us is like, well, y'all is like media people, y'all care, but the fans in Mexico, they just love Canelo, bro. They don't care who he fight, bro. Like, they feel like he been fighting so long that he can fight whoever he want. That's what, like, bro, you don't hear nobody yelling about Benavidez unless it's YouTube. You feel me?
And I'm with you on that because I believe that he already had his tough fights. He did enough tough fights in his career where he don't have to really care about that. His legacy is already in cement. That's number one.
True.
Number two, it don't matter what he do. He's still fighting one of the top fighters in the world. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's the top fighter to a lot of people's opinions, but he's still ranked as one of the top fighters in the world at that division. So
and in his division, right,
in his division. So therefore, you know what I mean, he's taking on a fighter, and he's doing it which is one of the greatest clashes in Latino boxing history, which is Puerto Rico.
Right. You know what he's doing with that.
Yeah. No matter how you look at it, those numbers are going to be there, and we're going to be like, whoa, okay, listen. At the end of the day, it was worth the fight. He did exactly what he wanted to do, and he's doing it on Mexican Independence Day. Belenger's there to shut it down and make it his fight. And I wouldn't be surprised if Belenger wins, as far-fetched as it sounds, because I think he has to really hit him with, you know what I mean, a couple of shots that can hurt Canelo. He is a strong fighter.
We was just talking about this too. I'm not mad at the fight, bro. I'm not mad. I've been told y'all I would rather see that than a Charlo fight. I would rather see that.
Yeah.
Right.
To really see if Belenger a bluff or not. That's you found me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear all you guys' points. I gotta push back a little bit as far as the Latin and me being a Latin man. I'm a Puerto Rican, but as far as Latin fighters go, I support Mexican fighters. Whenever Saul fought in my living room in my house, just because he was Latin, we got behind him. Now, as a fan, we've tried to support Canelo after lackluster fight after lackluster fight after lackluster opponent. At some point, we're gonna push back and say, "Yo, Saul, we're not." You see, we gotta understand.
Manguer was a good fight though. Manguer.
Yeah. Sometimes all this criticism is not necessarily coming from us fans. They're actually coming from the words that are coming out of your mouth. Had you not got on TV and said, "I could beat him, I'm better than him," we wouldn't hold you to that.
Right.
It's true, man.
You see? And sometimes these fighters put these expectations on themselves.
Right.
And I try to express that we wouldn't have mind Saul walking out. He gave us enough blood. He was in there with the Floyds, the everybody, you name it. He did enough for the sport. 60 fights. How many more brain cells do you want him to give us? And how many times do
they
you
in the comments going crazy?
Hold on, let me shout out the super chat. Hold on, let me shout out the super chat. Jihad Mitchell says Canelo gonna get a pass because his career at the end. All right, salute. I guess.
I mean,
that's true though. It sucks, but it's true.
It's true, but at the same time, you cannot hold up the division claiming to be the best. There at one point in time, let's just think about this. If you were David the Monster Benavidez, how many years did Saul take off your career? And are you happy?
But he active though, so you feel me? I get what you're saying, but he active.
Right.
Yeah, but Saul Canelo Alvarez at that time was fighting everybody else but fighters in his division.
Let's point the finger backwards at David too. David had the belt. He could have came up before David for the belt, but David did what? David lost it on the scales. David lost to other activities outside the ring and failed tests. So he lost the belt. So if you got to blame him on that side too, because if he
I do.
Belt, guess what? Canelo would have had to fight him to get that title. He would have had no choice.
Oh, right.
That brings back to some of the things that you are held accountable that come out of your mouth. When Saul Canelo Alvarez was offered to fight David the Monster Benavidez back in the day, he said he wasn't interested in his belt. The minute he lost it for recreational drug use, what was the very next fight Saul fought for? The vacant WBC title.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fight Mexicans, but turns around and fights Jaime Munguia.
That's why they say actions speak louder than words, bro. His actions is showing.
That's why they say you are accountable for what comes out of your mouth.
Remember too that he didn't want to fight Jaime Munguia. He wanted to fight Jamal Charlo. That was actually what the PBC had promised him.
For what? For what? To fight another fighter that's coming off mental issues.
Hold on,
another wounded duck.
Mira, listen. Okay, he said that he wanted the American fighter. The PBC pushed back and said that fight's not going to be big enough. We don't want you to do that fight. And that he almost left the PBC because of that. He literally started shopping around at different fighters because they wouldn't give him Jamal Charlo. So what they did is they cut a deal with him to fight Hyman McGear to make that fight worth it, because he didn't want to fight Hyman, but he ended up doing it. So we're not going to really push that blame on him. I think that was more of an action of the PBC. So he probably, and we don't know.
If you don't want to push that blame on him, at least have him fight Jamal Charlo that's in his weight division. Neither of the Charlo twins were in his weight division.
Right.
When you were arguing about Jaime Munguia, at least he was a fighter that was in his weight division. Right. You're making excuses for a fighter that was fighting anybody else but in his weight division. He fought the first brother that jumped up 2 weight divisions, and he wanted to fight another wounded duck. It just looked like Saul wanted another victory rather than fighting another challenge.
Well, that was a fight that was being called out to him when he was at 160. So at the end of the day, a lot of people
but wait. Let's bring this full circle, right? Because I understand where both of you guys are coming from, but I do side with Edwin a little bit more. I lean more towards him because at the end of the day, that's what my biggest argument with Canelo is. That you'll bring somebody up 2 weight classes. You'll bring somebody out of a bar. You bring somebody out of a bar who couldn't even, his last fight, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't even fight and defend the belts that he already had and got stripped of his belts. You'll be more interested in putting that fight together than fighting actual mandatories that are there in your division. And that's why I ask how much at some point or another is his whole, I feel like he may be putting his legacy at risk because now we got to go back and look at what he's been doing the whole time and asking ourselves, hold on, when was the last time Canelo Alvarez gave us a fight, a big fight that we wanted to see? Like, when was the last time he defended his title? John Ryder? I mean, like, what has he been doing? What has he been selling us at this point? Him going into fighting Edgar Berlanga right now, chasing David Benavidez out of the division, David Morrell chasing him out of the division. I don't care. I'm gonna count him. I'm gonna put him right under that umbrella. David Morrell left that 168 division because there ain't no future. Again, no titles on there. These guys' best opportunities to get an interim damn title. That's the best chance of getting a championship in that division. How much blame is Canelo Alvarez gonna get for what's happening to that division? Holding on to those belts, holding them hostage like that, not letting them go.
Right.
How much blame is he going to get? How much blame should he get if he's the king? If he's responsible for the division? How much blame should be put on his shoulders then?
All of it, in my opinion.
Man, he gonna have to fight either or. He gonna have to either fight David or Morrell. He gonna have to fight either to get the fans back on his side, bro. Cause man,
look. It looks cool. It looks cool when you can have all 4 belts wrapped around your body, but as soon as you do that, the champion realizes that he made himself a target. Usually, a fighter fights 3 times a year. How the fuck are you going to honor 4 mandatories and have time to do whatever you want? It might look good, but it is a pain in the ass to be that kind of champion when you got all the mandatories knocking on your door. Okay, so as far as Saul Canelo Alvarez maintaining it for this long, I give him credit, but at the same time, he is going to get some criticism because not all fans are going to see his vision of what he perceives to be a champion. When you got fighters like Naoya Inoue that are only fighting the number 1 or the champion, this man currently in the sport of boxing today has 21 consecutive world title fights in a row. Consecutive. That's amazing, he has 4 weight divisions. And when our champions, even the best of them, like Floyd, has used when they moved up to other weight divisions, what did they do? They took a tune-up fight to acclimate to the division. You know what the Japanese did? He used the champion as a tune-up fight. They said, yo, you don't have to fight the champion. You can fight the number 1 guy. He says, no, I'll take the champion. 4 weight divisions, 3 separate times. He used the champion as a platform, including our champion, Stephen Kubo Fulton, that was an undisputed champion with 2 belts, undefeated. He didn't win a single round against the Japanese shoe superstar. Completely shut out, dominated.
Yeah. But shout out to Eddie Hearn, man. He got Berlanga the fight. He told me he was going to get it to him. He got it.
Exactly. And not to
Guys
mention,
usually don't deliver like that.
He set Berlanga up.
But we're talking about him not fighting champions or whatever the case may be, and we're talking about Canelo. Bro, Canelo has fought Daniel Jacobs, Rocky Field, and
in his prime? In his prime? Let me tell you something right now.
7 years ago, it's still
Canelo Alvarez is one of the most dangerous fighters
in
the world. He's one of the most disciplined fighters. And let me tell you something right now. He's about to teach Edgar Berlanga a boxing lesson.
Okay.
The only reason why we're not, all the way, at least me, let me speak for me, is because although you might seem like Ed Hearn got Berlanga the fight, Ed Hearn only got to walk a sheep to slaughter. That's all he did.
That's what I was going to say. Once he left to go over to Eddie Hearn, he actually lost more of his top fighters because Eddie Hearn had him fighting guys in Europe. But there's nothing wrong with that. As we see, some of these European fighters are good. We just don't see them stateside. So he was just fighting people over there a lot. Eddie put a lot of those matches together. Now, at the end of the day, on that, I'm not defending Canelo. I think Canelo needed to take the Benavidez fight too. I would have rather seen him take that fight. I would like to see him take Morel. I'd like to see him right now go after fighting Billy out of all the champions. That'd be a good.
I think that would have been a better fight than.
But yeah, exactly.
All got dates. That's the problem.
Right, but the problem is he's not going to take these fights because he doesn't sell. He's already a champion. The money is what he's looking at. He's looking at retirement. We have to understand that the guy has already made his accomplishments. There's no difference than what Bud is doing. If Bud decided that he don't want to fight nobody else when everybody was pushing him to fight Boots, bro, I don't need that fight. I'm going to fight the fights I want. I'm going to go for the titles I want, and I'm going to utilize what I have in my back pocket, which is my records and my career, to go the way I want to go. I already made my accomplishments. You guys recognize me for that. So me to look in the mirror and say, okay, you guys want me to go backwards and fight a high risk, low reward fight, then you're crazy. I don't need to do that. I can go on my own, and that's what Canelo was doing. And that's all I'm saying. Now, I don't care if it's a duck, it's a duck. That's what everybody says. Whatever. I don't care. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? We have to honor that guy did. He walked that mile already.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely. To touch on
wait. What Ray just said was so accurate. Like I fully agree with that whole entire analysis. Like the way you broke that down was flawless to me, right? The only problem I have is let go of the damn belts, bro.
I agree.
They gotta strip them though.
You could do all of that. You could do all of those things. He's everything you said he is. He has every right you said he has. He has every right to move the way he wants to. He does not need those damn 4 belts.
You right.
Beat Canelo Alvarez.
And you know what's so funny?
Okay.
You know what's so funny? Hold on, everyone, real quick, because I'm gonna counter that. Bud should have dropped his belts at 147 first. Also,
wait, hold on. There's a difference between what Bud did and what Canelo did. Bud actually leveraged his situation to put himself in position to go on 154 and get right into a title fight to become a champion to move forward and chase undisputed. Now we don't know that. Why don't we know that? Because Terrence hasn't necessarily got love like that when it's time for him to make the fights he wants to make. He has to keep his leverage. He has to keep Canelo. Canelo. He don't got to keep no leverage. He could just be Canelo. He got the whole Mexican country behind him, and wherever he decides to fight, they're gonna come out and see him. Terrence, you see, look how they doing him right now at BMO right now. Tickets ain't selling. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's playing the event.
That fight gonna sell out.
Hey yo, check this out. Hey yo, my man with the hat flip backwards right there with the red. What's your name?
Ryan.
Yeah, hey yo, I want to touch on one point. And to my man with the blue hat right here too. This is gonna correlate with both your points, right? But I just want to bring this up because he brought up a good point, right? That when you speak of a fighter and you say that the belts don't matter, some of Canelo Alvarez's success is those belts and the appearance that he gives to the fans with the belts. It's what you see. What do you see? All the belts. His success has to do in part with those belts. Without those belts, Canelo is just the fighter that he made himself to be. You understand? He doesn't get to wear that crown without those belts. He doesn't get to come out with that king robe without that belt. And how he sells has to do in part with those titles. And that's why he protects them so vigorously.
Nah, I think that's false narrative. I think it's false. Tank showed us it's false.
No. Okay.
If Tank fought the best of the best, he would never need a belt. Never. Okay,
check this out. That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. Right? Okay, I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you.
Fighter and just fought the best guys.
I'll prove it to you. Let me prove it to you. Let me prove it to you, brother. Right? Okay. What did you see when Tank entered the ring, and how did they announce him as a world champion?
He was a regular champion at 35 when Devin Haney had the belt. And none of us said, no, don't watch Tank.
Okay, check this out. When Tank walked in the ring at 135, they announced him as a world champion, and we both know he wasn't. When he went into 140 and he won a title at 140, they announced him as a world champion, and we both know he wasn't. When they announced Tank Davis that he dropped back down to 135, they were announcing him as a 3-division world champion, where we know he wasn't. The only time Tank Davis had a world title was at 130, where he acquired 2 of them, where he lost one on the scale by the weight. Okay, so both of those other titles were phony baloney. But now,
what about AJ?
I disagree.
What about AJ? AJ hasn't had a belt.
Wait. Let's not talk over each other. Let Ryan push back a little bit.
What about AJ? AJ lost his belts to Usyk. Wembley Stadium is going to be popping, not because of Dubois. Dubois has the title. They're not coming to see him. They're coming to see AJ, and he ain't got no title in this fight. You realize that, right?
The fact he hasn't had no title in his last fight, and it gives AJ the opportunity to win a world title, and for them to see AJ back on top.
Man,
that's
AJ,
part of it.
Well, AJ just wants to get back against Usyk. He's never talked about being
but he wanted his get back against Dubois. What he wants against Dubois is the belt.
Nah, that's just there because the IBF stripped him. That fight was happening regardless.
Can I just add this real quick? Because I was going to touch on this. So you said that Tank wasn't a world champion when he fought Barrios. Wasn't the WBA a championship? It was a world title. It wasn't the super title.
Oh, Barrios had a title, wasn't it?
It was an interim world championship. Yes. Mario Barrios was never the champion.
No, he was interim champion. I'm saying Tank. Tank had. I didn't say what he won. I said when he entered that fight and they announced him a world champion. He was a world champion.
No, he wasn't. He was
entering. He wasn't the super champion. The super champion it was the top champion.
Yeah, but not at 140, my brother. He never fought at 140. That was his first fight.
Okay, but you said they introduced him as the world champion. He still held that title as a world champion
at 135.
So okay, but he moved up into that fight as a world champion. If a champ when Charlo was fighting Canelo, they announced undisputed versus undisputed.
That's how they promoted the fight. Yeah,
until they stripped him of the So therefore, they going to announce him as a champion. That's what he's holding. That's what he is.
That's a lie. No, that's a lie. The sanctioning bodies have no problem announcing their interim championships, but I learned the hard way.
But that's not an interim belt. That's the world championship.
When I went up to look up, and I went to the Hall of Fame for myself, and I looked up fighters like Manny Pacquiao, that I was shocked with the truth. ESPN and the entire world was announcing him as an 8-division world champion. I went to the Hall of Fame to find out he was only a 6. Those interim champions and the very people that make interim champions don't acknowledge that as a world champion. They specify in their rules that you have a piece of a world championship, but until you beat the champion, you are not the champion. So if your world championship as an interim champion is not accepted in the Hall of Fame, then I don't accept it.
Okay, good. I'm glad you brought that up. So what do you think about the franchise champion?
Franchise is the worst one.
So
it's the worst one. It's the
one Canelo's using right now.
There's only been 2 champions in the world that's been franchised.
2 ducks, man.
Okay,
that is a horrible belt.
There's more than 2, but I just want to ask because there's a lot of people that believe the franchise champion is the same as the super belt in the WBA.
Hell no.
You're right. It's the same.
Yeah, they kind of have similar. They have similar weight.
Yeah, but the franchise belt, when you look it up, When you look it up, there's only one. There's only one. And the WBC is the only organization that has a franchise. And in the rule structure of the franchise organization, it specifically states that you cannot win it in a boxing match from another fighter. That is given to you.
I know all those accolades. Hold on.
Wait. We got to do an episode on these belts because I'm telling you, this is a deeper conversation than I ever thought.
I studied these belts early.
Listen, I don't disagree with him, Clay.
But I had to go fucking look up.
No, it's all good.
Edwin, give me a second, because I just want you to know something. Edwin, hold on. I just want you to know something, brother. I don't disagree with you. What I'm doing is I'm playing devil's advocate because there's points to be made on both sides. Now, when you're telling me about the WBA as a world championship not being a world championship, it is solidified as a world championship. Remember, the Super was made. They weren't meant to coexist. They weren't meant to coexist when it was made the Super. It was when you became unified. This is the WBA World Championship of the world right here. Right. Okay.
And the only way.
Hold on. Let me rock. When you were the WBA champion and you became a unified champion, they elevated you to Super, right? That was after what? 1999. No. Yeah, it was after 1999.
No. The WBA, the only way you could become the Super is you got to win the regular. No one wins the Super in the WBA ranking. The only way you're elevated to the Super is when you make title defenses that the organization elevates you to the Super. No one ever wins the Super.
And when you unify the title so that you don't have to unify, you don't have to fight a mandatory.
Yeah, but you're fighting a champion that already established that as the Super.
Okay. Listen.
Okay. All right.
Next topic, Clay. Next topic, because this can run all day, man.
Yeah, we definitely gotta move the needle.
Let's talk about
I've seen this happen before, by the way. I've been on channel with these belt conversations get crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Okay, I got that out.
Never letting that go.
I had to get it out. You know what I mean? Because I really want to talk about some boxing right now. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about this whole Canelo situation, Turkey putting the pressure on Canelo and that. And from what I get the senses here on this panel, I don't know. I'm not sure. You guys let me know if I'm wrong, but it seems like you guys feel like Canelo's just gonna get the love he gets no matter what. He's not going to get questioned. He's not going to be under the scrutiny of this is not going to affect his legacy. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you guys. I personally believe, and I think Edwin is on the same page, but I don't know, that I think in the future, in 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I think this is coming up. I think this era of Canelo's, this chapter in Canelo's career is going to be brought up. They're going to talk about this time in his career.
You know why they're going to bring this up? Because they're going to bring this up against Terrence Crawford. How are you going to make Canelo Alvarez in this day and era the best fighter? And we're going to argue for him when then we got men like Terrence Crawford that's in front of us doing all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. And when you got an argument that this guy's wearing a crown, his whole statement is that he is the best. And you're not going to be able to pull that off in front of me when I got Terrence Crawford standing in front of us. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. So I, we'll see how the future treats, how history, how much love history gives Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? We'll see this chapter in his career, what it looks at it as, how they describe it. If they say, are they gonna say, yo, he deserved the opportunity? He gets the pass because he accomplished so much earlier in his career that whatever he decided to do towards the end of his career was his right as face of boxing to do it? Or are they gonna be like, nah, bro, that dude ruined a whole entire era in the 168 division. Ask him if you can talk.
Man. I hope that's not the talk, man. I hope so.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll
it will. And you're right. Both you're all right. Eventually, we'll all see. We'll all know. We know that, right? We know that. Mm-hmm. But in 10 years, they're going to say that. They're going to reflect on it, just like they reflect on boxers now. Yeah, I know he is. What they say now about people, in our recent history that didn't fight. How many times do they tell you that Floyd ducked so many people at 147 before he moved up? They talk about it. They're going to say these things.
I'm not going to. I don't want to hang on it too long, but this is a different situation. What he's doing, how he's moving right now, we'll see. We'll just see.
Right.
We'll see what happens. I'm saying, but I can say I was there for the Floyd. I was there for a lot of this stuff. This Canelo situation is showing up a little different, bro, than what I'm used to seeing. Maybe. And we'll see. We'll see 10 years from now how they speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to hold you. For me, it's a different vibe. It's a total different vibe.
Me too.
Okay, brother. One second. Can I get the floor for 30 seconds? What you touched on is the Floyd is a different vibe for Canelo. See, the difference between Floyd and Canelo, Floyd didn't have all the belts. He wasn't holding up the division. He wasn't holding up anybody's careers at the end of his career. He was doing Floyd Mayweather shit, and he's still getting paid. While Canelo Alvarez holds on to these belts and avoids this, but claims to be the best, he's doing it in a different light.
100%.
Yeah, and that's all I see. You know, Floyd was doing Floyd shit, but he just wasn't holding up divisions.
Yeah. I was just gonna say,
and that's all. That's all.
He dropped the belt for Keith Thurman, man. Vacated WBA so Thurman can get it.
Yeah.
And he was fighting bigger guys. Like, you got to understand that. Floyd fought bigger guys.
What Zab Judah beat him for his belt and didn't even take it.
Yeah. It's a difference, man. I think it's going to be a difference. We'll see. Like I said, we don't know. I wanted everybody's opinion. We got everybody's opinion. I'm going to bring up one other person on here, guys. We got to bring our talk time down. We got to share the space. We got a lot of people on here who want to speak. You know what I'm saying? So let's everybody, you know what I'm saying, just take their time.
Hey,
Shout out
I would like to listen now.
D-block?
Okay. Enough.
D-block, do your intro, bro. Set it off. What's up?
D-block, peace, bro. Peace. Yo, I spoke to you earlier.
Now the thing is that he said that Floyd Mayweather was downgrading his career. He wasn't ducking and dodging nobody. He wasn't holding no belts. Well, it's a different cream of the crop. It's a different era. Yeah. We could definitely agree with that. Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed. Canelo Alvarez is living in a different fucking era. Floyd Mayweather definitely ducked Keith Thurman. And you can't duck and dodge that. Even before the Manny Pacquiao fight, Keith Thurman wanted that fight so bad. He wanted to prove himself as a youngin. But still to today, nobody wants to say nothing about it. It's there. The history books are proven.
Wait. Hold on, let me speak.
No, Edwin, don't do that. Chill. Let him go.
Yeah, you've been speaking. You got the belts behind you. You got a whole masterclass behind you. You got a whole, at the end of the day, you are who you are. But I am D-Block. I'm inevitable. D-Block, D-Town, D-City, D-Ville.
Let me say one thing. No,
hold on. Everybody got to say what they got to say, right?
Let D-Block cook for a second. Let him cook.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, let's give respect to the era that it was. And he gave you the fights that a lot of people say, he didn't give us no fights. Well, go look at his resume. He gave us everything that he wanted to give us. And it was great. Now we're at the end of a cusp. We don't know when he's going to retire. We don't know. Now we live in a different era. We don't know when everybody's going to retire. You see a lot of football players, they retire at a young age. Athletes that are actually in the field. Basketball players in the field. So I got to give respect for the Canelo Alvarez. David Benavidez had one chance. What was that? Hit the fucking mandatory. He never did it. Keep on coughing. That's okay. I hit my weed. I'm good with my shit. Right? I hit my shit. I'm good with my shit. But you keep on coughing because you can't sustain that shit. But that's okay. That's for another debate for another day. So I'm going to tell you like this. And you got the belt. Take that belt off. Take the belt behind you off. Because at the end of the day, you can't even take your own weed. But it's okay.
Man, this man be
I'm going to go with my flow. I'm going to go with my own because I know that one day, and Ray, you know this, I'm going to have my own fucking show. And it'll be beautiful. All right?
Early.
Go like that. Canelo Alvarez is the champion of the world, and people tend to hate for somebody like that. But that's okay. When you're on top, they're gonna hate you. Go ahead.
But D-Block, let me ask you a question, right? I'm hearing everything. I'm hearing everything you're saying, right? But that man does not need to hold all them damn belts, bro. He can let the
that's why
division
the
move.
IBF stripped him, right?
I mean, I hear you. He don't need to hold it. I don't know. We're gonna move on though.
Yeah.
We're gonna
What's
move
up,
on. I hear
Jim?
you, bro. I mean, because for me, it's just like me and Ray talk about this shit all the time, and it's like everything you're saying is right. Like I swear to you. The only problem is he's holding on them belts. I just don't understand. Like everything you said is right. His right to do what he wants, what he's earned, what he's done. But it's like, damn, the division. You just takes David Benavidez out the division. David Morrell went up to 175. Everybody named mother, the legends, the Chavez, the Herreras, the Eric Moraleses, they're all like, damn, bro, your own peers, the people who have laid the ground for you are like, damn, bro, let him go or fight this dude. And you're like, nah, man, give me Jamel Charlo. Bring him up for 154, man. Let's give him his shot. Nah, I want Jamal. Jamal's drunk. Get him off. Get him off the car. I don't care.
Claymore.
You're like, damn.
Claymore, I'm gonna let it go like this. I gotta go. I just came up. I have my own shit, so I'm gonna let you. History has always proven itself in boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I told Ray. Ray heard this. Oscar de la Hoya. Vargas was asking for the fight before he even fought Trinidad. He said, "I want that fight." A youngin. Behind him was Chavez. He said, "I support him." A real Mexican champ behind him, just like Marquez, Barrera, like you said, all these champions. History has always proven itself. What did Oscar de la Hoya do as the golden nugget? He said, "Fuck it, I don't want to fight you." He didn't fight him. So then, what did Vargas do? He went up to 154, like it was a division. He said, "I'm gonna take on Tito Trinidad, the most dangerous motherfucker out there." Right. He fought him. He got his ass beat up. Guess what's gonna happen again? David Benavidez is going to go up to 175, take on Better Beaver Bivol, is going to get his ass whooped, and history will repeat itself again. Canelo Alvarez will say, "Okay, now I'm going to take you on." It repeats itself. If you know boxing, if you love it, it's going to happen. My people, I got to go. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's never D-Block, D-Town, D-Ville, Baltimore. Facts! And take on that. And take off that belt in the background and stop smoking that hard shit.
I got 5 belts. Not one. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The franchise
five.
too.
Let me say one thing, man. That dude
not one.
Go ahead,
Rich.
I just gotta say one thing about D-Town. He be capping on Twitter, bro. He be capping. And I tried to say it when he was on here, but it was back and forth, bro. He be capping on Twitter, bro. I swear.
He be caping.
That's all, bro.
Everybody has their opinion, right? Everybody has their opinion in the talk.
No,
he said, hold
up. No. It's not even an opinion. Like, on Twitter, like once you get that chat, like it's like a YouTube, like you monetize. Right. He just be saying anything. I'd be like, wow, bro. That's all, bro. Like he's funny. Like
he be dropping some gems.
You always got your casual fans, but for everybody with respect. I don't want you guys I don't want you guys to get me misunderstood neither. Sometimes like I'm real passionate and I don't want to feel like I'm pushing my views. Sometimes I can get caught up in my own shit and hear myself talk, but I apologize for that, and I just, I like to really, really talk.
You just a fan of the science, sport, bro.
Because I always am a student of the game. And there's other ways always of learning. So, okay, I can take the jokes and the criticism and I can let shit roll off my shoulder. I also know that, we are talking from these microphones from our house, and I'm not going to be a microphone warrior in front of nobody, and I'm not nobody's wind-up doll. So if I over-talked or anything, it's just my passion. That's all it is. That's all it is. And
but we do need to be conscious of everybody else.
Yeah. Because I'm not. Sometimes I get caught up in that. I'm admitting that. I'm admitting that. Yeah. And just a little, Ed, let me go. I'll catch myself. I can take constructive criticism.
You caught it though. When we said something,
yeah. I just want to, I just want to, you know what I'm saying. So like, we're getting to know each other. And I'm a talkable person, and we could always, get our viewpoints and everything else off, and by the way, you know what I'm saying? I got more than one belt. So anyway, go ahead.
Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead, Hoodrich. I'm definitely about to put up. Okay, I'm just letting you all know after Hoodrich, we're gonna talk about this Schofield. And,
let's do it.
Yeah. But
let's do it.
But go ahead.
Look, right, like I got two things, but they real quick, right? Like one thing, Ray, he do drop some gems on Twitter. He do, but it was one thing he said about, Tank declined the contract from I forgot who it was, and it wasn't Haney or Shakur. I'm like, bro, how can he send him a contract?
Loma, I think he said Loma. I think he said Loma.
I think it was Shakur.
From Bob Arum. He said it was from Bob Arum.
Yeah, that. But and another thing, I don't know buddy name on the right that got the belts.
Round one.
Edwin.
Me, Edwin.
Yeah.
Round one, yeah.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, you're a good dude, but you remind me of somebody. No disrespect, bro. No disrespect. I respect you, bro, but without all the bullshit, you remind me of Southpaw, bro. No,
we done. I'm getting off. I'm done, son. I'm done, son. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I've never been disrespected so bad in my life. I have never ever been so humiliated. I listen. Out of everybody you could have called me, bro, there's even fighting words. Listen. Out of everybody, you call me Southpaw.
I thought he was going to say T.O. Senior. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
I thought he was going to say T.O. Senior.
That's what I was thinking he was going to say.
Motherfucking T.O. Senior. That wouldn't be the first time. Yo, I'm more jacked.
Yo, let Hoodrich bird, yo.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, guys. All right. Listen. Hold on. Here goes. Here we go. JoJo, Floyd Schofield Jr. and his father. His father's going to be there. We could talk about that as well. And JoJo Diaz were on Mill City show. I think it was yesterday.
I saw that.
And they seem to be talking about coordinating a fight next. They're going to put it out there, go to Oscar, go to whoever, and they want to put this fight out there. Schofield looks like he's looking for that face to put on his resume. I don't know if JoJo checks those boxes, and I'm interested in the panel's perspective on that. Is JoJo Diaz mean anything on Schofield Jr.'s resume? Does he hold any weight?
I think JoJo Diaz beats Floyd Schofield Jr. with ease. He's a boxer. I think he'll take him outside that element. And he'll show him the ropes because of the veteran skills. Floyd's skills to me has shown that he's diminished, trying to becoming a rock'em sock'em robot, just going in there, just swinging for the fences, trying to get these guys out of here. And I think he lacks some defense sometimes, just jumping in and out. I think he'll get exposed. You got JoJo Diaz, who's actually moved up and fought people at 147 and held his own. You know what I mean? So JoJo also I think he still has the hands. Now, I suspect his chin. I know he got knocked out a couple of times. But at the end of the day,
he's been stopped. But has he been knocked out? He's been stopped. But has he been knocked out?
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's been dropped. Yeah, he's been dropped and he's been stopped. Yes.
Right.
Even with Sandor Martin I thought he retired after Sandor Martin, but obviously not. But that's just them trying to get they're just trying to get a name on their resume, and they're just trying to make sure that they get somebody they feel that he's a gatekeeper. If you really felt like you wanted to fight somebody and make a real good challenge at 135, I don't think JoJo Diaz is, and I think JoJo Diaz is at 140 anyway. So that's not even a guy that's a catchweight fight. That's not even a guy that you go in there fighting. Like, you go fight somebody, especially if you want a gatekeeper. This is not JoJo Diaz. I mean, you got a lot of people in that division that you can pick from that are decent gatekeepers. And then you got guys on that are worth fighting. Why didn't he call out Antoine Russell? He just came off a loss. Mm-hmm. That's a guy you put on your card as a marquee fighter, right? Wow. He's not going to get that fight. Then you got a guy in your own stable that can't even get the title shot right now. We don't even know if he's going to get one or what he's going to take. But why not fight him? You're on the same stable. Put that on. Let's see you get it on there. Yeah. But here's the thing: he's calling out every single person in the books, all these home run hitters, Keyshawn Davis, Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson,
Williams Zepeda.
Yeah, Williams Zepeda, and none of these guys are paying him attention. They're like, yo, you just the gum on the bottom of my shoes, bro. I'm just gonna scrape you off and keep it moving. You don't have a shot, bro. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if JoJo Diaz actually beats him with skills.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna pass it along, but just to say that I agree with you. I think they definitely are trying to put that name on the resume, and they're trying to become legitimate. They're trying to become legitimate names to fight these fighters that you mentioned, and I just don't think JoJo Diaz checks those boxes. And like you said, the mess around and lose. I was gonna cuss, but I'm just gonna be the one not to cuss and act like I care about this monetization. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say that I think it's a high risk, low reward. I think JoJo Diaz can beat him, and what are you gonna get from beating him? I don't think anybody goes, well, he beat JoJo Diaz, so now let's put him in the ring with Keyshawn Davis. Nobody's gonna do that with a JoJo Diaz fight. I think they need to slow down. I hate to say that, but slow down, fight who's in front of you. I know Floyd Sr. keeps saying like he's the best boxer in the world. I think he even said, I think Schofield Sr. said the best fighter. He gives him like these huge accolades. He's like Devin Haney. He's like Bill Haney. 3.3.0. Like he's multiplied by like 5. Like he's just off the chain. And I think he's already gotten his son a lot of injuries that he didn't need to have. He got cuts on his face that he doesn't need to have this early in his career. He's been put in danger. He's been put in front of people who he shouldn't have been fighting. Bad matchmaking. And I think they're pushing him way too fast. And I don't think they're going to get the results that they think they want. That H2O fight would have been a good fight for him to do, but H2O got sent to the shadow realm. So I'm saying he's gonna have to figure that out and bring it back. He's no longer somebody to put there, but they just want to throw him up there too quick, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna pass it.
It's funny,
man. Let me just burn real quick. I'm gonna head out. He's ducking my guy from Canada, Lucas Body, who just sparked out H2O. He said, yo, yeah, you got the win. We gonna fight him next, Netflix. And then he run around saying everybody's name who not gonna fight him. Like them guys ain't gonna fight him for what? He ain't got nothing for those guys. Like Shakur, Keyshawn, those guys, they on the other side doing their thing. Just fight my guy Lucas Body. He be the best opponent you've ever fought, Floyd, anyways. Boy, Schofield. See if he can spark you out too. If not, then just stop talking, man. Like his dad too. I just don't get it, but I'm out, fellas. It was good burning with y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.
Yo, I think that Schofield is going under an opponent that I think they might be underestimating. JoJo might be that kind of fighter that shocks him, just like they knocked out H2O. I think this guy, Schofield is going to come in there a little overconfident, and a fighter like JoJo is going to wait him out. You know how resilient he is. He can take a beating. And then, he's, if you give him the opportunities, if you could recognize these things, yes, you could take that away from JoJo and make him look like an average fighter. Yes, if you know what to look for.
Let me say
if
something.
Floyd Schofield goes out there, he can walk into the same trap that H2O walked into. He was winning that entire fight. He was the better fighter in that ring, H2O. What happened? He became lackadaisy with his defense, and he gave that fighter an opportunity that he really didn't deserve.
Too comfortable.
You see? So in this regards, whether or not, look, his father, you're right about that. He's like Devin Haney's father fucking 5 times. He talks about his son like if he's a Superman. And sometimes your son is going to have to answer for everything that comes out of your mouth, just like Devin with Bill. You see? So sometimes that could backfire. You know those videos when shit talking goes on wrong. You've seen those videos, So whether or not Schofield can back up what his father is preaching, time will tell. And with each fight, we're going to see how he develops in the ring as a fighter. He's a fighter that's moving up. And this is a fight that I believe I'm going to give JoJo the benefit of the doubt. We talked about this and boosting up the other guy. Yes, we're going to tell the facts. Yes, we're going to pick the fighter that we want, but we're also going to make it interesting and acknowledge the challenge that JoJo presents Floyd Schofield right now.
Yeah, like, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If JoJo do get that upset, y'all think Devin Haney was bad. Y'all think the criticism with Haney was bad. He gonna get it worse cause how they is, bro. How they pick him up like that. That's all I got.
Because of his father.
He is a non-starter right there. That's a non-starter.
He better be ready, man. This shit ain't no game.
His father puts a lot of pressure on the son that the son never actually came out and said.
And Floyd,
and this is what I mean. Kid. This is what I mean about sometimes sometimes people have me arguing points about Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan has never said or did anything wrong to me. And here I am getting upset at him because of what a fan said. Sometimes fans take other people's words that are close to you personal, being that it's his father that is advocating and saying all this, that he's this talented, that he's way better than this fighter, that you don't see what I see, that the world is, he's putting a lot of expectation on his son's shoulders. Now it's up to his son to perform.
Yeah. Hood Rich, are you done cooking or are we going to pass it to Boxing Hacker?
I mean, yeah, like, he just better be ready, man. This shit ain't no game. If he lose...
Yeah, I think it's high risk, low reward. I think it's high risk and the reward just not worth it. I don't know if that's a fight he should be looking to make, but then again, what do I know?
I ain't trying to be funny real quick.
What's up, people?
What's up, Hood Rich?
What's up? Guys.
How about saying real quick? If honestly, if I was them, I'll tell you who's looking for a payday. It would have been a good fight for him to just put his name on there. If he's just looking for one of these journeymen, would have been a George Kambosos. That would have been the easiest.
Nah, George Kambosos.
I'm serious. I would have.
No, that's a great fight, though. He's got a point.
When you fight champion, you're talking about.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he can have that under his belt.
Yeah, just something you put on your belt that you make at the weight division. You don't call out somebody that's in semi-retirement and just, you know what I mean? And there's somebody that's skillful too at that.
Yeah, but I think they're making a mistake because JoJo's skillful. I think they're making a mistake.
So, well, first off, I do think he needs this fight, and it's only partly because him and his dad been calling out people for a minute. They've been calling out Shakur. They've been calling out this person. If you got to do all that rapping, calling this person out, calling this champion out, saying y'all up next, the least you can do is fight JoJo. That's at very least. Like, at this point in time, he needs to fight somebody.
But just because you call someone out,
Edwin,
between us, our panel, do we believe that he's that quality of a fighter? Amongst our panel.
Let him cook, bro, because we're gonna be stuck on this forever. Let Boxing Hacker get it over.
So so I see people making like comparisons between him and like Devin. Devin and his dad. One thing I'll say about Devin and his dad, when they first started or when they first really came onto the scene, they were calling out people, but they were like serious with their call outs. I remember Devin was calling out Bunny, Robert Eastern. He was calling out Lomachenko when he was popping. He pulled up on Tio when Tio started talking crazy. Oh, yeah. Like Devin was about that when he first came out. Yeah. Kid Austin, him and his dad call out people, and then they change their energy when those people show up. They'd be like, "Oh, we're ready to take this fight. We're ready to take this fight." Then Keyshawn Davis show up. They're like, "Well, we were talking about in the future." I'm like, "Bro, where did the future come from?" They always do that, and it's very annoying. They'll be like, "Yeah, we can be Abdullah. We can be Abdullah." Abdullah show up. Abdullah is like, "Okay, I'm ready to fight." They're like,
"They be capping."
When you get a title, they're like cap artists. I don't know what's going on with them. So at this point, I think they need that fight.
Shakur. Come on, man.
Yeah, you can't be calling out the top people in the division. You can't, and we're talking about, are you ready for like JoJo? You better show for JoJo. Now, do I think he can beat JoJo based on athleticism? Yes. Skill level, I ain't gonna lie. Kid Austin looks like a team version of like Sean Porter a little bit to me. Like,
no doubt.
He's like Sean Porter, but he's just not there yet. Like Sean Porter,
he could aspire to be like Sean Porter for sure, but he has to take his time more. But let me let Rick Timms get out a little bit. Rick, go ahead, bro. Brother. Salute, King.
Salute, bro.
All right. Oh man, what's up? What's up with it? Clay, Ray, everybody on the panel, chat. Oh wow. So we the topic is Kid Austin and JoJo Diaz.
Yeah, so they had a conversation. Mill City was interviewing both of them. Actually, he was interviewing JoJo Diaz, to be honest with you, and it ended up bringing up Schofield Jr. and his father, obviously, because he doesn't go nowhere without his father sitting right next to him. So and you know, basically they agreed at the end of the interview. They agreed to fight each other. They were gonna put the call into Oscar De La Hoya to reach out to JoJo's promoter and put together a fight, and the next fight that they're trying to see is each other. They think Schofield could use the name on his record. They're trying to push him up, get his resume up, and they think JoJo Diaz checks the boxes. And the question to the panel is, does he check the boxes? Is this worthwhile for Floyd Schofield? Is he being moved too fast? Is this exactly what he needs, or the worst thing he could ever do to his career right now?
Oh wow! Well, look, the way him and his dad been talking a lot of smack lately. You know, calling everybody out, even the top name guys. They've been calling. I mean, he been talking. You know, the big stick. So, it's a must that he go in here and dominate. You know, when you talk like you the heavy favorite to win the Super Bowl and say I can win the Super Bowl, I got what it take to win the NBA Finals, the World Series. They talking that heavy. So. If you're talking that heavy, you can't go in here and have no hiccup against no JoJo. You can't have no struggle win, no split decision, no majority decision. You know, you can't suffer no knockdown. The way you and your daddy talk, y'all better come out here and handle business and treat JoJo worse than anybody ever have. The way y'all been talking. So hey, if you want that smoke, go get it. Hey, I'm all for people who feel like they can take a challenge and they feel like they can win that challenge. So if he feel like he can, he feel like he ready. He don't feel like he's still too green for a veteran like this. You know, inactive or not. Come on with it, and you better bust him up. You better stop him, or you better dominate him 120 to 108. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But like I said, high risk, low reward. I mean, that's what you feel like you got to do. Do what you feel like you need to do. It's your career. It's in your hands. Move the way you see fit. Very high risk. And like a lot of people in the chat said, for somebody who really is this close to retiring, pulling him up from out of the bushes, you know what I'm saying? Whatever bed he was laying in and having him come out, it's gonna be a bad look. If like Rick Tim said, if he makes this fight a close fight, it's not gonna look good for Floyd. And if he messes around and wins, man, I don't know, bro. I don't think this is the move for him to be doing, but we'll see. We'll see.
I had to play devil's advocate on that.
He can't fight Abdullah. Abdullah will stop that brother, man. What do you think he should fight?
I mean, I like the Cambosis fight that they just put up there for him. That Ray put up out there. But I mean, listen, man, fight who's in front of you.
Anybody in the top 15. I would have took anybody in the top 15.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the Abdullah story?
Yeah. He can afford Archer.
The thing about my bad, Ray. But I just quickly say the thing about Floyd Schofield to me is, you know, he's really big for 135. You know, he got a nice aggressive nature to him. It just seemed like he just be too much of it in a hurry. He kind of smothered his offense trying to, I got to get him out of there, you know, especially now that his daddy is imitating Bill Haney you know, just blowing the horn so much. So when it seemed like he smothers himself and his offense can't even get no type of chemistry to it, and if he can't master that and get some patience, he gonna keep struggling, and he not gonna beat any of the top guys, you know, with that flaw that I've noticed about him. So I want to see what he's worked on, because you can't keep talking all this smack and not produce. It got to show on fight night. You know, enough talking.
Right,
No
and
doubt,
I agree.
no doubt.
I agree, and I'm glad you said what you
He's
said.
way worse than Bill Haney, though. I'll say that much.
Because, like you said, him going in there and thinking that, you know what I mean, it's going to be an easy fight, and he's not listening. Like, the key is he doesn't even listen to his corner. He just fights the way he wants to fight when he gets in the ring, and he's just barbaric, like, for real, 100% barbaric. There's so many guys in that division, man. Just in the top from number 4 down. Edwin De Los Santos. You want to fight somebody that's going to be a good fight? Edwin De Los Santos. You want to fight
Andy Cruz.
Andy Cruz is too good for him. That's not even. I don't even want to see that fight. Mark Chamberlain. Look, Clay's favorite fighter from England, Mark Chamberlain. You got freaking Miguel Maduerno. You got so many people that would be a good fight for him. I think Maduerno is even actually a better win for him if he beats Maduerno.
Me too.
George just beat him, and I think he's a heavy puncher. He's slow. He can actually make that fight look interesting because the way that dude moves in the ring.
But he has to be patient.
Right. Right, exactly. I mean, you got Giovanni Cabrera, bro. You got so many people in that division that I think he can lock horns with, and he just want to pick on somebody. Bro,
Oscar ain't gonna allow none of that, man. I'm
telling
you, yo, JoJo Diaz gonna mess around and beat him, bro.
That shit can go bad for him real quick.
Yo,
that would be a game ender.
Can I share something on that? Okay, what I think about this fight with this JoJo Diaz fight, we never know what's going on behind the scenes and what it was like to build some of these fights, meaning that we really don't know who is available, who would have been ready in that time frame. By him bringing up a fighter like JoJo Diaz and JoJo Diaz wanting to test himself, it's going to be a real unique test for the young Schofield fighter. You fight a veteran fighter, and whether or not we believe it'll be competitive, you can't say nothing to Schofield after that fight when he beats him. He's going to think he beat the best version of him in his head.
Right.
It's going to give him that kind of confidence. Now, we understand boxing, gentlemen, and we understand that he's still not, there's levels to this. He's not on that level. Now, whether or not his father wants to convince him and try to like push him out, sometimes in boxing careers, you have a fighter and you have to decide it's either sink or swim. What separated Devin Haney from Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia is that Devin Haney dared to be great early. Yep. He took that chance and fought and got the 4 belts, and they had to watch him on TV live out their dreams. He beat them to it. Sometimes when you have a fighter, you do want to be patient, and it's also advised to you not to rush it. But sometimes you may give up your opportunity. And in a sport like boxing, when you know you have a polished, talented athlete, it's time to find out whether you're ready for that and can you achieve that. Schofield needs to slow down a little bit, and I understand that his father is doing most of the talking, but the son is the one that has to do the fighting in the ring. We'll see how he does against JoJo Diaz.
Salute. Yo, shout out to the thumbnail, bro, because I think that pushback, I don't know how I be doing it, but that thumbnail represented this segment today and this panel today from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in. Shout out to the thumbnail. Chamberlain, J.R. Spock said Chamberlain would be a good match. I think Chamberlain, I ain't gonna lie to you, I think Chamberlain pieces him up, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm being real with you, bro. I don't think so, man.
Nobody has faith for Keith.
Man, I'm just being honest with you. I think Chamberlain pieces him up. I think the young bull need to slow down. I think Senior need to take it slow down. That's what I think. But look, man, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, bro. Like, you want to put him in there? Let's how the British guy says, let's have at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. If you can't cap, at least let him fight, you know.
Yeah,
I'd rather
bro.
them fight people and cap, you know.
He just needs to develop. Well, hold on. He said, can we please stop calling him Floyd? Just call him Schofield Jr. I hear you, brother.
Hey, yo, Claymore. Claymore. If they haven't fought, then they haven't fought.
Church, you already know the saying. You already know it. If they haven't fought, they haven't fought, man. It is what it is. So yo, you know your young bull better than I do, man. We just outside here being fans and just kind of like calling it how we see from the outside. Senior raised him from a pup. He know what he can do. He know how he built. Hey, man, put him where he's supposed to be. You heard? Don't listen to us.
But who's Abdullah's step up fight, you think?
No, bro. Bad look for him.
No, I'm not talking about. No, but who do y'all think Abdullah should fight, though?
Okay. We're leaving the Schofield conversation. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You better stay away from that boy.
That's
Abdullah or Abdullah?
That's just nasty work, guys. Let's not do that.
Abdullah Mason. I don't know. I don't know. Abdullah should fight whoever. I'm gonna tell you right now. Whoever they put in front of him, fight him. Right. That's where he's at right now. That boy's on pace to fight 6 times this year right now.
He's one fight from being ready.
You got I got a few fights I would like to see him fight. Like I think putting him in the ring with dude that just got knocked out he went back down to 130. Chris Colbert will be a good fight, tune-up fight for him at the great division.
I think he'll knock out Chris Colbert.
That'd be a good fight.
That'd be a good fight.
Very boring to me, man.
He does know how to box. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
Then you also have who's the other dude that Henry Garcia or whatever. What's his name again?
Not Henry. I know you're talking about. You're talking about Mickey Bates fighter. You're talking about.
No, I'm talking about Luis Garcia, the one that tanked for it.
Hector
Luis Garcia.
Hector Luis Garcia. I think that'd be a good fight too. Because they already moved up to 135. I mean, we already know what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? We know they're trying to move a couple fighters up. Mm-hmm. But I think those guys right there would be good fights for them. Those are good caliber fights for like a stepping fight, and they're challenging. You know what I mean? Those would be challenging fights for them. I mean, they're on a different network. You know what I mean? Maybe they can make it happen, formulate it. I don't want to see him in the ring with nobody that's like really super high power caliber. Not saying he can't fight him or win against him, but I think we need to take our time with him. When you step him up to a 10-round fight, those are two guys exactly. I think those are two guys that we can see him in the ring with that'll be decent enough.
Yeah, good looks. But guys, let's see. Let's move the needle, man. Let's jump into another topic. You know what I'm saying? The topic that I think Hood Rich came up here to politic on. You know what I'm saying? And the one that Hood Rich we got a lot of questions, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can answer, maybe you can't. You know what I mean? We'll see. We won't know unless we ask, right? So let's talk about it, man. So the rumor is Tank is sending out the contract that the Tank Davis team is putting out, putting the offer together, and that they're getting. He left. He must not be allowed to talk about it, or his connection was bad. But the rumor in the street is Tank is putting it out there. He said he doesn't want to fight Isak right now. He's put his team on alert and notice. He's putting out the contract to send it to Shakur. Is Shakur going to sign to the PBC at this point to get this fight put together? Because Eddie Hearn has also commented on it and said, listen, he's not part of this, that he's not managing Shakur. He's not the one working with Shakur right now, and that he thinks, is very good chance Shakur is going to take this fight. So if he's not going to sign with Eddie Hearn, then that means the next move is PBC. The PBC, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Free agent and sign a 1-fight deal.
Yeah, 1-fight deal or some shit, or 2. It's probably going to be with a rematch clause for Tank, though, because that's a risky fight for Tank right there. Yeah, so they're probably
does he sign directly to Amazon like Tank did?
My bad.
Yeah, Hood Rich. Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything about? Yeah, I hear you, Hood Rich. Have you heard anything about this Tank sending out the contract to to Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah, I had actually talked to him before he went to Paris and stuff, and he said they're gonna send him an offer.
So I mean, now what does that come with though? Like, does this mean that is Shakur gonna have to sign with the PBC, or is this just an offer to Shakur? Like how is this gonna look?
I mean, like I guess like like right now, they can't send him a contract because he hasn't signed to nowhere yet. You feel me? So I guess like they gonna have to wait. But yeah, I mean like the fight definitely gonna be on Amazon Prime. We ain't going to
You
the
think
Zone
it's the
or
next
wherever we
fight?
go.
You think it's the next fight? That's a fight that's gonna happen?
I don't know, bro. Honestly, I
Right.
mean, like when he said he was signing the contract, I was like we was passing and leaving, so I couldn't have asked him like, is it next or you feel me? So, but I'm guessing, yeah, it's next. I'm guessing. Loma pulled out. Who else? Who else can he fight?
Can I say
He
something?
can fight anybody, but
Yo,
Shakur is the guy that everybody wants to see, though. I want
yeah,
to see at least.
from what I was getting from some of my sources, I was talking to some of my guys. Tank Davis was reported that he's gonna start talking or anything about contracts when he gets back from the Olympics. He was
Yeah,
elected to go out to the Olympics to help out, to be there, like, to like motivation for the Olympic team
motivate
and
the kids.
yeah, motivate the kids and shit. So Tank was going out there. So he didn't want to think about anything else until he got back. And
Yeah,
then, if anything, it was a possibility and he was going to relive the situation when he got back. So as
your
far as
sources are
that,
good, bro. Your sources are
yeah,
good.
yeah, I got a couple people I try.
Yeah,
So so as far as like the fight itself with Tank and I still stand in the same spot. What the fuck is Loma doing? Like walking out the back door, no motivation, 2 belts on the line, but you can elect to say that your heart's not into it. Then all of a sudden, all this shit falls on Shakur Stevenson. Like he has to step up and take this fight because see, Shakur Stevenson put himself in a situation because of his last 2 performances. Let's keep it honest, because up until then, Shakur Stevenson was revered and even going to be placed, arguably by most people, on a pound per pound list somewhere, higher up, but low 10, 9, 7. And some in some circles even fear that they should have put him higher. After that Edwin De Los Santos fight and his just recent fight, arguing with his grandfather in the corner, didn't show unity in the Shakur Stevenson camp. It's really uncertain that I'm thinking about Shakur Stevenson as a fighter where he once was,
and they
not
say
what
they
he's
corner
doing
better.
today. Not what he's doing today. Whether or not your arguments want to be that, whether he sells or not, that's not the point. Fan pleasing is fan pleasing. And as a person that buys a ticket, rents a hotel, fights traffic, makes dinner reservation, comes out to see your fight for a snooze fest, I got to be honest. When Tank Davis is getting in the ring and knocking people out, do you see people getting up and walking out of a Tank Davis fight? No, because it doesn't go to the scorecard. There's a difference in opinion when it comes to fan pleasing. I'm not arguing the fact that Shakur is an amazing fighter and an amazing talent, but
Let me say something next, Ray.
he needs to understand that at some point you're gonna have to take chances. And this fight right here against Tank Davis, I think that they're gonna bring the best out of each other. I think that they're gonna elevate the sport of boxing. If they can finalize that fight, it would be a dream fight. It would be a unification. And on that night, America wins. That night, we're going to see the best truly fighting the best. And we're going to see the American slick style at its highest level. And I can't wait. I can't wait if a fight like that is ever announced. But I'm going to keep my enthusiasm on a low because I know boxing has a tendency of luring us on. How long did they tell me that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence was going to fight and have me stringing along over the years? So until I see them walking into the ring, I'll believe it when I see it.
Church.
I can see that. Yeah.
All right, but look, like
The Arden fight was good.
Hold
You always say
on,
I think the Arden fight was a good fight.
All right, but yeah, like one thing, I got 2 things to say on that.
Ooh, Hood Rich, it's horrible. The sound is bad, real bad.
Yeah, it's coming in and out.
Yeah, you know.
Do a reset.
No, you going in and out.
Nah, you're. It's like you're underwater.
Yeah, let me.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I got something on that too.
Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Go ahead.
Hood Rich too. Yep.
So, well, when it comes to this Tank and Shakur, I watch live. Excuse me. I watch live. I watched Shakur talk to Coach Kenny, and Coach Kenny was like, "Man, look, we got Loma in November, and can you in so many words, can you wait us out to spring 2025? We can get you spring 25. We can get you on the schedule. We can sign you up for spring 25." And Shakur like, "No, how about y'all drop Loma and I'll fight Tank in November?" And Kenny was like, nah, man, look, we got to go get that money first. We going, no, November, spring 2025. So now, no more Loma is in the way. I'm calling both sides bluff. They say Tank side, of course, say after the Olympics, they got the interest, and not a rumor say it's supposedly something gonna be headed out. And then on Shakur side, I heard him say it out his own mouth. Drop Loma and I'll fight Tank in November. Well, damn it, now ain't no more Loma in the way. So it shouldn't be any issue, especially on Shakur's side from his own words out his mouth that I heard him say. So if both sides say they want it, it shouldn't be no more dragging out issue with this. And we gonna find out who really bought that life. For real. We finna really find out who bought that life.
Can y'all hear me now?
Go ahead. Rich.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, but yeah, like I was saying, for real, like y'all got to think about it, like on the boxing side or the business side, you feel me? Like we seen what Earl and Bud did, you feel me? Waited all that time and they didn't even outdo Ron and Tank, but forget that, man. I'm really debating on if I should say this because they ain't really want me to say it, but I'm ready to say it. You feel me? I'm about to say it. They ain't want me to go at Shakur coach, but he out here talking about they corner better and all that. Yeah, it's cool. Y'all got Bud over there and all that, but Bud and the can't get in the ring for him. And if the fight don't happen November or 2025, it ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen. So I wanted to happen in November so I can get this money real quick. But yeah.
So you're saying if Shakur don't take this fight, the fight don't happen. If he don't take it right now.
If we send a contract, and he decline it, it's over with. But I'm saying like if like nothing happened between now and 2025, it's not gonna happen. Because what we waiting for?
There's negotiation, right? Like they could do a counter offer.
What are we waiting for?
It's not like a one contract, is it?
Gentlemen, can I share something with you real quick?
The highest Shakur made was 3 to 4 million. If you don't take 6 to 8.
Yo, and how much was the highest that Ryan made? But Ryan got 30 million out the deal though.
Yeah, out the deal.
Shakur deserves something.
Yeah.
So y'all think Ryan guaranteed was 30 million?
No, not guaranteed. No,
it wasn't guaranteed, but like from the back end, he does deserve a percentage of the back end.
Yeah, they put it. What he's saying is, are they gonna give him a deal that puts him in position to potentially make 30 million if it's there for him to make it?
I don't know about all that, but
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about those contracts is like if there's like if they give him a low ball offer and then he's like, oh, I want something better, and they turn around and say no.
Split, that shit was like 60-40. I know that with Ryan and Tank, it was like 60-40, and Ryan made 30.
Yeah, which is good.
So what that tell you about Ryan's side? He brung in money, right?
Yeah.
But look, this the trick. I know Shakur got a fan base. I know that. We know that, but we can only guarantee you so much money. We can't guarantee you 20 million. We don't know if you're gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, like at least like a good percentage of that.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Okay,
For sure.
Like, if they give him like a flat fee, like $5,000, $5 million, that'd be crazy.
No.
Can I give you guys food for thought?
Yeah, go ahead, Edwin.
Let me give you food for thought. Let me jog you guys' memory down back memory lane. Check it out. Once upon a time, Devin Haney had all 4 belts, and he offered Shakur Stevenson to fight him at some 25%. He said no. We all know he went back to the table and made him a second offer, which he denied. Now, let me keep this in mind, guys. Throughout your career in boxing, coming up in the amateurs and getting to the pros is not guaranteed that any athlete even competes for one world title.
Correct.
It's hard enough to obtain 1 belt. When a man makes you an offer for 4 belts, at that point, it shouldn't be about the money. It should be about legacy. And it shouldn't have been about 25%. When you back out of a fight for 4 belts, okay, what do you think he's going to do when it's just a unification for 1 more? If you could say no to 4, listen, Floyd took chances. He took less money to make the fight happen. Even Devin Haney took less money than George Camboza to go to Australia to compete for those very 4 belts. Shakur Stevenson
the asterisk. My bad. The asterisk of what you're saying is, I gotta say, Devin went right back up to 140. Was Devin really gonna fight him at 135? Could Devin still make 135?
Yeah, but you gotta call his bluff.
No, but look. In boxing, I just want you guys to get to know one thing: that these belts is what you dream about in bed, fantasizing as a kid. And if you get the opportunity to win just one of them, if you told me tomorrow I'll fight you and I'm giving you an opportunity to stamp your name in the Hall of Fame, to give me one night to beat one person for 4 belts, you had to do all this hard work to acquire it, and you're giving me that shot on one night? Brother, I'll fight you in the parking lot for no money. This is what we're competing for.
Yeah.
This is everything. They shouldn't have been about, Shakur Stevenson should have thanked them for the opportunity and fought him. I bet you he's looking silly after witnessing what happened with Ryan Garcia. But if you're always talking like you're that dude, the proof is in the pudding. Bro, there would have been no amount of money. You could have told me, I'll give you $1. Yup, where do I sign? You said 4 belts, right? Yes. That's all they would. Listen, that stamps your name in the Hall of Fame on one night.
And you mentioned the lineal title, right?
Think about your bargaining chip when you talk to Tank. If you're undisputed,
come on, man.
That's crazy.
Come on, man. I would have fought you in the parking lot, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah, he should bet on himself. He should. We don't know if what would happen if he had took the offer, but he should have been yeah, I'll take that offer.
Right.
Bro, that's everything in the sport. That's everything we fight for. It doesn't matter. I want to be at the top. I want to be called Michael Jordan. I want to be the Tom Brady of my sport. When you walk into a Naoya Inoue weight division at 122 pounds, there is no other champion. He's greedy. There's only one king in his weight division, and that's him. And whenever he walks into one other weight division, he makes sure he gets all belts. Because he's a jealous man. You do not call anyone champion but me.
Loma would have been chasing Shakur if he had all the belts.
No, go ahead, Ray.
That is everything. The belts are everything.
Hold on, let Ray cook. Go ahead.
I probably forgot what half the stuff I was going to say, but it's okay. So what I was going to say is, yeah, he's 100% right with the fight. As far as us knowing if we would have took the fight, is unknown. Like, we don't know if it would have happened. Like Boxer Hacker said, he should have called his bluff. He did send out multiple offers to try to make this fight happen. I think that would have been a big fight. That would have been a money fight for Top Rank, and they would have got a pay-per-view on. That would have been a good pay-per-view. So it made some dollars.
Yeah,
it made some dollars.
And
then at the fact that Shakur and Tank right now going at it back and forth. Shakur he opened up the can of worms like Rick Tim said, saying that he will fight him in November if you move him out the way.
Now now he quiet. He quiet.
I'm sorry, man.
Shakur's gonna show up, y'all.
Yo,
I have faith in that, brother. He's gonna show up.
What you got the chains on from the dog? Was
is that the Intercontinental?
Yo, that's a WWF belt in the World Championship from NWA.
That's a replica Conor McGregor, and this is a replica Stephen Coop. What? Stephen. What was his name? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin replica.
You need to grab a beer, man. You can't just have that belt, Stone Cold.
Nah, I don't drink beer, dog.
You got the Unifying.
You got to drop that belt. Don't drink beer, man. Come on.
Hey, yo, don't make me grab the other ones because they all up here. That's the IBF, the WBC, the WBA, and the WBO. And then I even got the IBO.
Believe in Canelo.
I got the IBO over here.
The We Believe in Canelo belt.
I got my baby.
Super Bowl trophy. He coming in here crazy.
If you ain't got the franchise belt, it ain't real, bro.
Hey yo, what y'all say? Hold up.
Let me see one thing
before he got rings on. He getting rings on. He got the champion, the 6 rings from the Michael Jordan.
What y'all say? What? I woke up today feeling like a champion. I don't know why.
But you are Massachusetts, man. I see Tom Brady in the bro. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm a judge.
Yo, I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I was raised out there until I was 13, and then I moved to Massachusetts because my mom thought she was going to give us a better life. She moved us to hell.
Bro, well, shout out to Newark, New Jersey, because I'm out here. I'm out here in Jersey, so I got you, man. I feel you.
I was born in Newark.
I
went to Roosevelt Summer Street School right off 77 Steps that they took down by the Dairy Queen.
I'm ready to get out of here, man. Let me say one thing.
Let her rich go, because I definitely wanted to talk about Carissa Rukawan, but we about
to get out of here, man. But look, let me say this one thing before I leave, man. Can y'all hear me right?
Yeah, you coming a little shaky over here.
Though, but we can hear you.
But when that fight happened, Clay, right? When that fight happened, I'm going to say when, because I know it's going to happen. When that fight happened, and when you make it look easy, I'm going to come back and be like, Ray, I told you, right? I always do that. Bro, y'all gotta be lying.
Are you betting on that fight?
You telling me he made it look easy?
He said he going to make it look easy.
I'm going to let you say it.
I got Shakur winning that fight, to be honest.
That's your opinion, brother. But
yeah, it's true.
Your opinion is what I know. That's all I'm saying. But I'm out of here, man. When that fight happened easy, I'll be back. Well, I'm always back every time I'm alive. But salute to y'all, man. Salute to the channel, man.
All right,
gone,
man.
bro.
Salute to you, brother.
All right, I'll holler at you, man. Later.
All right, brother. Peace, Hood Rich.
I don't think Hood Rich could come out. I mean, Homeboy could come out and say that. I think Shakur wins when he fucks with Tank Davis. I think he'll be cut off. So I think he might be a little biased. You know what I'm saying? Just slightly. You know what I mean?
Man, they'll lock the gym doors on him, bro.
They'll lock the gym doors on him, of course. So I can respect it. I can respect it though.
He's doing what he's supposed to do.
He's doing yes. I can respect it.
Are we about to talk about the queen of boxing, Clarissa?
Oh,
the true vote.
Let's get it.
The true vote, not the fake vote.
And listen, y'all go ahead and talk about that.
Nah. We all got to get on this.
The final queen, right Clarissa.
Yo, Clarissa had a decent performance. You know what I'm saying? It was good. No, not decent. She knocked her. She knocked the opponent out. Girl. So it is what it is. But my question is, what's up with this GOAT talk? Is she the GOAT? Why is she the GOAT? I mean, like, why is she the GOAT? You know what I mean? Is it just because of all them belts she got? Because I know, Edwin respects the belt. So, you know what I mean? All those belts she got, does that make her the GOAT? Or, I mean, do we have to take into consideration the competition, the you know, what I mean, who she's fighting, does that matter anymore, or does it just matter that she collects all the belts?
She's like Thanos in the women's boxing right now.
Okay,
Clarissa went from amateurs.
Man, listen,
before anyone goes, right?
Yeah,
I would like for anyone to please their case and convince me why she is the GOAT. And I give you the microphone and the floor now. Please show me why.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
Sure. Go ahead, Rick.
Clarissa went from amateurs.
Let Rick Tim cook.
I go after Hacker. Hacker can go.
Go ahead.
I go after Hacker.
From amateurs to pros. The only American that has 2 Olympic gold medals, both male and female in boxing. She defeated
every. That's the wrong answer, but go.
Was there another American? No, I think she was the only one. American.
American. Because you said male or female, because that includes Lomachenko.
But he's not from America. He's from Ukraine.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Only American to have 2 consecutive gold medals in boxing, male or female, right? She's defeated every single person that she ever fought in the ring. And she only had 1 loss, and the person she lost to, she beat the person in the pros. She's collected numerous of championships from the amateurs, numerous of championships in the pros, multi-time undisputed champion in the women's division right now. She owes the greatest amount of accomplishment in the least amount of time. You know, so to me, there's no other woman that's doing this. You know, you can look at all these other women, Kay Taylor, Amanda Serrano, this and that, but they all take the defeats in the pros too. And none of them are accomplishing things at a quicker rate. And she is, how do you say, ominous when she gets into that ring. Like there's nobody that's really pushed her like that. Like, I mean, she defeated Hammer, who was like champion for like 10 years, like 10 rounds straight. So like, to me, there's no other argument of any other woman that you can say that could take what Clarissa has done.
Is there anybody else?
I mean, include people like Layla Ali. Layla Ali had like a 90-something% knockout ratio, but who was she fighting? You know, when you look at the competition of who you fight, you don't know who Layla fought, and she never fought Ann Wolfe. She fought Joe Frazier's daughter. That was okay, but what did Joe Frazier's daughter do in boxing? You know, so like when you look at all these people, you know, Lucia Riker, she was good too, and she had way more fights, but Clarissa just accomplishing way more at such a fast pace that I don't see anybody that's catching up to her at this moment.
Okay. Is there anybody else that can present a better argument? No? Can I go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Clarissa Shields is being considered the best female fighter with 13 fights?
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're saying is that she accomplished so much in very little fights with very little competition. When you're disrespecting other female fighters, such as Amanda Serrano, that legitimately has 41 professional fights and is a 7-division world champion. She has 7 belts and 7 separate weight divisions. And you're putting that up against what? That she had all 4 belts and 2 separate weight divisions with no competition? That she just railroaded his car competition. Your whole entire argument is based on amateur, which amateur does not translate into the pros. And then I'm going to at least take away a point from you when you said she had a loss. As long as she doesn't lose in the pro, what she did in the amateurs doesn't matter. 3 rounds, that don't count for shit. And I understand your 2 gold medals, but brother, just like Lomachenko's father held up his career, Lomachenko's about to make the quickest rise in descent in all of boxing with 18 professional fights. He's talking about retirement. And that's thanks to his father doing 2 gold medals. The Olympics are held every 4 years. He held them back. What more achievement do you get by getting an extra gold medal? Nothing. And what did it do for you in the pros? Nothing. But I tell you what does speak in the pro. Amanda Nunes has 7, and I repeat, 7 world divisions. Yes, thank you for the correction. Has 7 weight divisions with 41 professional fights. And if you put that against 13 professional fights, on average, Amanda Serrano took more risk.
She took more risk. She's better. She also took a loss in the pros, right?
Okay, brother.
Let's not forget this, right?
I'm not completing what you feel like she is as a fighter because of styles or technique. I didn't want to go down that road.
Well, accolades. We could just do accolades.
Right?
That's fine.
But if we were to compare the world champions that Amanda Serrano fought versus the world champion, bro, she just beat a girl that had 7 fights and 1 loss. Are you really pounding your chest on that?
Was she a world champion though?
Listen, your excuses. Listen, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has an opinion.
The women's
I'm talking about competition, but you keep switching it up.
No, but I'm saying accolades, right?
Okay, accolades.
The accolades are there, but it doesn't.
Can she beat?
Who did she fight?
Can she beat accolades? You said accolades, brother.
Yeah.
Can she beat 7 divisions?
2 undisputed twice. Beat 7.
No. 7. Count them. 7 real weight divisions.
Who has more belts right now?
Amanda Serrano.
Wait, she has more belts than Clarissa? Clarissa has like 13.
And Amanda Serrano got like fucking 35, 38 belts. What are you talking about? How are you putting that against her?
But okay, look, right?
Hey.
Hold on.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Hold on. I'm gonna let Rick Tings tap in. I definitely want Ray to tap in as well. But just to say that, listen, man, I think it's a deep conversation because I understand what I understand where Clarissa is coming from, feeling the way she feels, right? But how can we disregard what Amanda Serrano's done in her career? How can we disregard? And I'm not trying to make, and in my opinion, I think they're both GOATs. You know what I'm saying? I think they're both GOATs in their own right. But where does Clarissa get to separate her? Where does she get to separate herself from Amanda Serrano, where Amanda Serrano in her own right can list her own achievements and put herself in a situation that Clarissa just can't put herself in that situation? Not to mention the fact that Clarissa Shields just doesn't have the competition.
She defeated everybody.
She doesn't.
I mean, Hammer was supposed to be competition. Hammer was supposed to be competition, right?
Hey, Claymore, and with respect, Claymore, me and you already had this conversation. You know exactly where I stand, and you know I'm playing devil's advocate right now.
Right.
Don't let my cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
We just didn't hear it. All right.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that at the end of the day, who has the right to put themselves up there on the top of the hill and put somebody beneath them in that conversation? Because Amanda Serrano is a super, you know what I mean, accolades, everything, you know what I mean? She's decorated. She's decorated her own right. Why can't she be, why can't she be the GOAT?
She's an amazing fighter. She's a great fighter. There can be, like Highlander, there could be only one.
Let me ask you this question: if she beats Katie Taylor, right?
Revenge, okay.
And she becomes undisputed,
right?
Is she now? Is the conversation change?
No. It gets better. I don't know if it changes.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting.
It gets better. I don't know if, like I said, it gets better. I don't know if it changes.
I know one thing. I know one thing. If we're talking about Clarissa Shields and Amanda Serrano being the greatest female champion or the GOAT of the best female champion of all time, at least we're talking about number 1 and number 2, both fighters being American fighters. As far as it goes for the woman division, the American female fighters are the best fighters in the world, to answer your question. So, we have a tendency of, competing against each other and comparing the two. But if I had to determine right now, Clarissa Shields is the GOAT for the heavyweight women's division, and Amanda Serrano is the GOAT in her division. Let both fighters get their flowers and acknowledge both bodies of their work and understand that they're both on the same team. And as long as either woman can be called the GOAT, they represent us. And there is no other female country out there that can say they have the best because we've knocked them off. Team USA, Clarissa Shield cleaning out the heavyweight, and Amanda cleaning out the lower weight division. Team USA, baby.
True that.
No, listen, hold on. Real quick. Mr. Big Play Bray said any male boxer that's done what Clarissa has done, people would say she was great.
Like Lomachenko.
I agree with you, Mr. Big Play Bray, but can we be honest for a minute? One, it's easier to do it where Clarissa's at than, let's say, a Terrence. Like just the competition is just different, right? Like, yes, on paper, if somebody was just to read on paper, yes. But as boxing fans who watch boxing,
but but you have to be relative though. Like
equal, is it orange to orange? Is it orange to orange and apples to apples we're comparing?
It was so easy. How come no other woman has done it? Like we have to.
Amanda Serrano done it. Amanda Serrano did it.
She did what?
She did the exact same accolades that Clarissa Shield has,
but not at the
not all four belts
of Clarissa. Look, it's like look at Lomachenko. Okay, remember? Let's look at this. Look at Lomachenko. Lomachenko in the amateurs was 396-1, 2 gold medals, right? We act like amateurs don't matter, but they actually elevated.
They don't matter because of the fact that amateurs does not matter because of the fact that when you fight amateur boxing, everyone knows that it's all offense. When you go to the pros, there's called a feeling out process.
If amateur boxing didn't matter, then people like Lomachenko would have never had like a jump start in their career in the pros. It always matters. If amateur boxers didn't matter, then people like Lomachenko, people like Guillermo Rigondeaux will never had a jump start in their career.
That I can't disagree. You're right about that.
It catapults your career.
Yes.
And they do when people talk about fighters, they do talk about the amateur career as well.
To make your point, and that's not fair. You're taking that wasn't the conversation, it wasn't the question either. And you're trying to be slick. Right?
No, look, I'm just be real. Like
no. I gotta call you on this. Okay, listen. What an amateur career and a gold medal can do for you. Look at Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy. How it skyrocketed his career and where he is at today. What do they call him? The Golden Boy. Okay, that can catapult your career. That's a no-brainer. But all I said was get one gold medal and come into the pros. Why did he come in so old? He came into his late 20s. Had his father believed in him, not to say, look at his father's track record speaks for itself. When Loma was a little kid and he saw that he didn't have good footwork, he made him take dancing classes for 4 years. That was 4 years too long. You proved your point. Whatever Loma's dad did for his son, he overachieved it. And he didn't really think that Loma was ready. He was like a Carlin father. He needed to believe in what he had. Loma is an exceptional, talented athlete. And if we would have got him early, he would have translated better into the pros. And I think he would be a way better champion. His father is the one that held up his career with that second bullshit gold ass medal.
Was it his choice? I don't know.
Listen, he wouldn't have got any more popular from 2 or 1.
Oh, that's not true. That is not true.
Listen,
come on, man. Come on.
Okay.
There's so many single gold medal people that aren't even being recognized. Let's not do that.
Listen. I guess you're harped up on the gold medals. Well, in the pros, that gold medal doesn't count for a belt. So when you walk in, it's like the first day in high school. That's where you start from. You can talk about try to win today. You can't win today's game with yesterday's score.
But check this out.
Okay,
when you talk about the growth, we're talking about their totality of their career. That's amateurs and pros. And people will look at everything and be like, damn, this person was undefeated from the amateurs to the pros.
But he wasn't.
Never struggled.
But he wasn't.
Okay.
I'm not saying, but people will look at that.
Okay, and you want to know
wait.
When they talk about the greatest,
he has 2 gold medals.
I know y'all moving the needle a little bit. Y'all moving the needle on a debate that ain't even really that serious. Like, it's cool. I get it. Listen. Alicia, I'm sorry, geez, I almost said the wrong person name. Clarissa Shields, right? She has her accolades. Yes, she did it with 17 or whatever amount of victories, less than 17 victories. That says something. But at the same time, we have to look at the competition and the level of competition at her divisions that she fought in. There's no competition there. Now that she has competition, she has not stayed there to defend her belts against any of the people that we would like to see her defend against. She has been chasing greatness with fighters that we don't even know who they are. No recollection of what they have done in the past, regardless if it's like the last champion that had 7 wins. I was just going over that with Clay, and you figure her 7 titles, she only fought 3 fights. Literally, this lady only fought 3 fights in the last 2 years, and last Saturday was one of them. So that right there in itself says something. As far as her being a GOAT, that's her name. She made it up. She wants to feel that way. Let her do it. You know what I mean? Canelo thinks he's the king. Ryan thinks he's the king. So what? But at the end of the day, when it comes down to there being a real GOAT, or if we want to get somebody the greatest of all time in women's boxing, we have to look at it and we have to give them the accolades that are deserved. We have many champions that are deserved. My whole thing is, I think Serrano has done a lot. I think she put women's boxing really, really big in the market. I mean, she came out with the movie that she did it on her own life. Like that was crazy. Like, well, who can you say done that? You know what I mean, the Carissa's now coming out with a movie on her life, which is only 18 wins. Then you got the fact that, you know what I mean, Katie Taylor made the Olympics great for women's boxing. We're not celebrating that. So when we're really going out there and we're saying all these things about Clarissa, we got to also remember that there's other pioneers in the sport. She just has 3 knockouts on her resume, and she's knocked out a heavyweight fighter. Now, was she naturally at that weight where her power felt good and she was able to do that, or this is just somebody that just hasn't been in the ring so long that she had a glass jaw? That's another thing we have to look at. Not to mention, she's calling out fighters at 140. And then got checked on that, moved it to 147, got checked on that. And then she, you know what I mean, now she's calling out another fighter at 147, saying she can do it, whatever the case may be. But yet she's not calling out the fighter that called her out. So there's definitely a lot of different things to say. If I'm going to be the GOAT, then I want to be the GOAT, and I'm going to take all these things into consideration. So I would definitely say, if I'm going to tilt my hat to anybody, I'm going to give it to Amanda Serrano. I'm sorry, Serrano. I don't know why I said Serrano. Excuse me, Serrano.
Because I messed it up. Probably.
Yeah. All right. Don't worry. I knew it came from somewhere, but that's what I would give it to. You know what I mean? Because I hear it at the point where I think she fought Katie Taylor, who was a top dog at her division, and lost, and wants to fight her again. She wants that rematch. She's jumped a division just now. She skipped over Alicia Baumgartner to go up to 135 to go fight her, and I think her last fight was at 140 because they fought at 136, and she fought at 140. So she's capable of achieving a lot, and she started at like 110. So she has multiple division championships as well. So we have to look at all those things and put them together and see what they're doing. Now, I think they're both great fighters, but I think when we look at the careers and what's going to count, we're going to look at it and say, you know what? This lady is pound for pound the greatest. And that's in my opinion. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
That's fair. All
right,
guys. I don't know why Alicia's not getting into the mix. She needs to
about
fight
to wrap it up. I got to take my car in.
Alicia's only won one division. And,
you know, I got to take my car in for inspection at 7 in the morning. I've been working all day. I've been
let me my final word on that, which is wrapping up, Clay, is the GOAT is the GOAT. You know, her accumulating championships in 5 divisions, you know, 2 less than Amanda, and 13 fights is a hell of a feat. You know, no matter which way you put it, even though this Canadian Vanessa chick she just beat only had 35 rounds of pro experience. You know, she somehow got a heavyweight title after being out 6 years and just getting back in 2023. So Amanda is more story, have far more longevity, and that can't be disputed or debated. For Clarissa to do all of this in only 13 fights and 3 knockouts is big time. I don't think anybody listening can name another woman boxer on earth that can beat her. So if they want to settle it, Clarissa going to 47, Amanda 147, and settle it in the ring. Other than that, hey, it's hey, I'm done on that.
Clarissa's too big for her.
Yeah.
She's too big for her.
The bomb squad called her
Yeah.
147. She said no 154. So I don't know. It might be somebody.
Yo,
what's about Shadeja Green?
She did the one fight.
Hey, Clarissa she'll beat her too.
Okay. What about
Clarissa will beat Shadeja.
What about a rematch with Freshon?
Freshon, Freshon will be more of a challenge than Shadeja, and even also Savannah Marshall.
Savannah Marshall.
Bumgarner way too little. Yeah. All right, y'all.
Yeah, but you're talking about she's way too little, but you're talking about Amanda Serrano. You willing to throw
Serrano,
her
well, goddamn it, if Serrano want to talk, she the GOAT. Well, beat the woman and say
she the GOAT.
Shit. Goddamn it! Don't talk about it, be about it.
We about to be out, yo. Tomorrow, it's gonna be an early tomorrow. Thinking about boxing, doing what we do, man. Salute to everybody that came out to the panel. Salute to Edwin. Salute to Rick Tim. Salute to Footbridge. Salute to Boxing Hacker. Salute to everybody who stood up. Definitely salute to the co-host.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you guys,
Good night, gentlemen.
I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate.
All right, Ray, we did it.
They hate when you elevate. Elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna bring me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned it.